to Talk the Kēki, not in Iran. Osashi.
Konnichiwa.
Minasan, tadaima! Oh, Skoshi. Konnichiwa,
Yeah.
minasan.
Yo, Chris, you're welcome. Right away, right off the bat. Look at you.
Creep.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk the Kēki. Ethan is back. He's finally caught up.
Depressing. Why you sound so like welcome again? We're back.
Yep. You don't go for shit.
Yeah, you gotta go full retard from the jump, fool.
Oh my god, stop it.
You gotta go full dirt from the jump.
The frame one yo is strong. And konnichiwa. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talk the Kēki. Is this better, Ethan?
Oh, so you sound like Excalibur now?
Oh my god.
He doesn't talk like that. I don't know why Cornette always like talks shit.
No, Brian does that.
He doesn't fucking talk like that. It's
But
like,
he talked. Well, Talk the Kēki. Here we go, right here. All right, you get to be around.
yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta be like,
No,
hey,
I'm not-
welcome to another edition of Talk the Kēki. I am Matt, along with my co-host Ethan. Ethan, how are you, buddy? You're good? All right. And we've got another jam-packed show for you, waiting for you with this wonderful anime that we have related. And we're gonna go over to the break. That's a little better. It's a little better.
All right, not bad. Not bad. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing all right, buddy. So I watched 14 shows in approximately about 8 or 9 hours. 14 shows in about 8 or 9 hours, something like that.
Well, that was what I had to do.
To catch up.
Well, that's what I had to do when I worked in the office. I had to watch like 10 shows and spend like a day or two on
That's
like
crazy.
a Sunday or something like that.
Watched
Yeah.
9 yesterday and fucking 6 today. To be all caught
Well,
up.
yeah, you're here now. We don't have Starman again. Also, shout out to Starman. Thank you for helping out last week. You're a real pal.
Yes, arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll see. He will return in the Spring Awards.
Only 5 weeks away, guys.
Yeah, about 5 weeks away. We're getting there. Holy shit!
Who said yo? Is that where did that come from?
It says Facebook user.
Yeah, this is a Facebook user. Let's refresh the group. See what's
Probably
going.
it's probably on yours or the Facebook group.
It is. It's my friends Johnny and Kimmy who I ditched to do this podcast. Hey guys, I can't wait to
there
see you guys tomorrow. If you're watching,
Yep, it's cool new friends.
no, well, I mean, they're gonna go, I guess, out to an EDM show. I think today. We're all supposed to link together for a tap party though. So I'm gonna get. You know what I'm getting tomorrow? Hopefully,
What do you got?
I'm getting the little dongo from Clanad.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the pink dongo, put it next to my little heart, and I'm getting the heart redone since it didn't heal properly. So I'm looking forward to that. Another tiny little tat, but you know that'll be number 4.
Okay, that'd be good. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Johnny's girl Brittany, who's our tattoo artist. She always does that. Much obliged, my dear. Much obliged.
Speaking of being halfway through, did you put any awards in or no?
Awards in for what?
When we do the seasonal,
Like, have I started filling it out?
do you have ones that you're like that's probably gonna be a lock, or
Do I have ones that are going to be a lock?
that you think were like, yeah, it's probably not gonna top it genre wise or something like that, or best?
I haven't thought
character?
about it, to be frank. I really haven't thought about it. I mean, my top 5 is pretty solid, I think. But
Yeah, my only one that's solid is top 3.
What? I mean, I'd have to look at the awards to see again, dude. I mean, fuck.
Well,
Best anime out there, best animation.
Well, originals default.
Which one is that?
Gundam.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the only one we got. That's original.
Visuals, man, drama. So many that are really tough. I guess
Yeah,
sci-fi is easy.
Well, no, we got Heavenly and Gundam.
So I was thinking, what's it called?
Or
Dr.
Stone.
Stone.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Stone. I think Stone is a lock for sci-fi. Mystery.
Yeah. The
That's
only one I have is OP and ED. That's really it.
I have to really narrow them down because there's several that I like.
Yeah.
What else? Boy, girl, that's up there. Fight is to be determined. Supernatural, I think, is kind of that's a lock. That's probably Hell's Paradise. Um, uh,
Oh, let me look at their page.
fuck.
Hell's
Thriller
Paradise.
Mystery is a lock. That's Oshinoko.
Yeah,
Comedy's a lock. That's Konosuba for me.
yeah, I was gonna say Hell's Paradise is action, adventure, fantasy.
Yeah.
Supernatural is Demon Slayer.
Why isn't Hell's Paradise supernatural? I mean, you're dealing with fucking all these weird gods and shit. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, good question. I don't know why.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Shut up, cat.
My cat is currently in my sink.
She's meowing up a storm.
That's the benefit. That's the benefit of having a his and her sink in my master bathroom. It's like I was taking a shit, and then like my cat decided to just crawl in my normal sink, and I was like, all right, well, you enjoy that. The good thing is I have a specific sink for like my everyday where I brush my teeth, do whatever, and then I have a specific hand washing sink where all I do is wash hands in that sink. So he happened to not crawl in the hand washing sink. I was able to wash my hands very well and come onto the pod. There was something I wanted to ask you, anime related. Not anime related. Something I was going to tell you. So it's not official yet. It depends on what my friend Carlina wants to do, but there's a chance that she might give me her cat.
Okay.
It's a female cat named Hinata.
All right.
I'm looking forward to potentially having her. I have to like fix it and all that shit, which is going to be a expensive task, but
right.
I'm up for it regardless. So Shadow may have a friend. Anyway, buddy, how are you otherwise?
Well, aside the thing I'm not gonna talk about.
Yeah, it could be better. Could be worse.
Yeah, could be worse. I'm doing okay.
You could still be stuck in Burlington and dealing with your personal issues.
Yeah, no. Oh god, they said no to any of that. I will throw shit. But no, my little stepbrother got married, so I was at that wedding last week.
Nice.
Very happy for him.
Nice.
Yeah, that was why. Yep, that was why we did the recording Thursday, so I can go drive down after.
Indeed.
To get there. You saw Guardians, right?
I did, yes, sir.
Really good stuff.
So I was thinking it was top 5. After reconsidering, it's not top 5, but it's certainly top 10. Certainly, without a doubt, it's a top 10 Marvel film that they've ever made.
It's probably my favorite MCU trilogy.
Oh, the trilogy?
Trilogy-wise, probably them.
Hasn't there been 3 Captain Americas?
I didn't like Civil War that much.
I was thinking, for some reason, Civil War. Well, you said Civil War.
Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
Really?
Yeah.
I
was not a fan. What you call it? Yeah, because Winter Soldier was my favorite. So
yeah, Winter Soldier is a definite top 5.
Yeah, Iron Man. Only the first one was good.
Yeah, I don't ever put Iron Man like up there. Like, obviously, it's in my top 10. Like, it's certainly obviously the one that kicked it all off. But
right.
I mean, I don't know, man. I always, people don't put
Thor. We don't talk about.
We don't talk about Thor. We don't talk about Hulk because Hulk hasn't really had anything. Captain Marvel.
Yeah, he only one movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I put Black Panther up there. Like, I put the first Black Panther. I put the first Black Panther.
I still gotta watch the second one.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's on Disney Plus.
I've been on a Marvel burnout, honestly.
No, well, I mean,
after Endgame, I was like, all right, I think I'm content for right now.
Hey, Mexicans beating black people. That's a selling point right there.
Yeah, pretty much. Spider-Man's was solid. Their trilogy was.
Yeah, Spider-Man is, but technically that's not. It's Marvel, but it's not. It's like Sony. Technically,
it's like both.
Both. BOF. Both.
Oh my god! Cats. Pick up your mind. She does not want to be picked. She does not want to be picked up.
She's not a picked up kind.
Nope, she hates it. But no, I enjoy this one a lot. I loved Rocket's backstory the most. I think it's what sold it.
100%. The comedy was funny.
Yeah.
Like always,
Also, guys, we can't spoil it because it's still out.
indeed. The end.
But
The end almost made me cry. I mean, there's multiple points. I was just like, damn, but I didn't cry because it was my uncle. If I was by myself, I might have. I'm not gonna lie, I might have shed a tear.
Also, a good spot for the F word, the first F word.
What F word?
You didn't hear it?
No, what?
No, that when Star-Lord said "fuck" to.
Oh yeah,
Nebula.
that's true. That's the first time they've ever said the F word in the.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Push the fucking button.
Get in the fucking car. No,
I was like, yep.
Get in the fucking car.
Yep. Best way to use it. No other way to do it.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that have said people that. Like, get in the fucking car. Let's go.
No, but action is a lot of fun. I love Batista is probably the best wrestler actor.
Batista, yeah.
Or Cena. Batista or Cena.
No, you don't like Rock? I mean, Rock's like
Batista and Cena have more range.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, they have more range. Rock's a one-trick pony, but he knows he can capitalize on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cena's best role, obviously, I think is Universal, is the one from DC. Forget the name.
Peacemaker. I love Peacemaker.
Yeah, that's his best role that he's ever done, probably zero doubt. Batista,
yeah, but Cena does a lot of comedy stuff, like even like a side character. It just works.
It just does. He has that special thing,
Yeah, and Batista, I like that he's out of his comfort zone, like doing drama stuff like that too. On top of it,
yeah.
So yeah, I think they're my favorite wrestler.
We'll see how Seth Rollins does in the new cap.
Yeah, and then he's gonna win a belt and then also go away.
We'll see how Roman Reigns does. He's only been in one movie ever, so I'm very curious to see.
Yeah, I saw he was he wants to do more Hollywood, like, but to do what?
To be fucking. I always laugh at. Did you see the one where he's a house show? He's at a house show and somebody's like, Roman, I loved you in Aquaman.
I know, I didn't see that.
No, you didn't see that?
No, I got
at a house show in like whenever Aquaman came out, 2019 or something. He's at a house show and somebody's like, Roman, I loved you in Aquaman. And he's like, they would have done a lot better if it was me instead.
But I like Jason.
Yeah, Jason Momoa, right?
Yeah,
Jason Momoa. Everyone loves how good he looks. I'm like, he's got a nice smile, but like his mustache, like it bothers me when my mustache goes over my lip. Like, and his just like it's just a.
No, it's definitely the face. It's definitely more of the face, especially the smile, like you said.
Yeah, it's the smile. There's something, I don't know what it is about male facial structure that gets women hot.
It's the charm, I guess.
I guess. I mean, it's a nice face to look at when you're getting fucked. I can imagine.
Right. All right, guys. But yeah, I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I gave it like
4 1/4.
Yeah, about 4 1/4, 4.5.
But no, I know Guardians of the Gun. That was James Gunn's last Marvel movie.
Yeah,
as he's officially going to DC. He's focused on Superman next.
That ought to be interesting. I wonder if it's going to have comedy. Gotta think it would.
I guess depends on how they do it.
Right.
I don't want the Marvel snarkiness where everyone acts the same with the jokes.
Yeah, it's got that flavor.
That's really the thing that turned me out the most out of the comic movies. Like they're all acting like this. Like I blame fucking Robert Downey Jr. for doing this.
No, but Robert Downey Jr. worked in that instance. I think
I was gonna say it's good for Iron Man, it's good for Spider-Man, but not like everybody.
It became really OD with Thor. I think Thor is like the big one that turned.
That was too much. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, the third Thor was like one of the worst films that they've done. Honestly,
the fourth one had the one out there.
Oh, is it the fourth one? It's the most recent one.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's 4.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that.
That was the fourth one. Yep.
Yeah, that was the one. That's the show.
Yeah, he's the only one that gets 4 movies
of all of them. Well, Spider-Man's gonna get 4.
I'm hoping they get 4.
Spider-Man will get 4. I don't think they'll do Iron Man again. You know, I was looking because one of the things that you'll see in the what is it? Is it the no? It's never mind. It's from the Marvels. I didn't want to watch Miss Marvel. Did not want to watch it. I was like, I have no interest. Not like to be sexist or racist. I have no interest in a 13-year-old Indian girl being a Marvel. Like I have no interest. But it's coming out and it's like fuck. Now I have to watch it so I know like about her.
I'm sure my friend will watch and he'll tell me if it's important or not.
People say it's really good, and I'm just like, I have no interest in seeing a 13-year-old Indian girl. None.
I
If it was an anime,
I didn't bother with Hawkeye.
I bothered with Hawkeye. It's not that bad. Definitely watch it during Christmas. I watched it in the middle of like the summer, and it was
I wanted to watch it for Kingpin, but that was it. I was like,
yeah, they didn't, and he didn't get much shine.
I know, but that's why I'm looking forward to Daredevil.
Yeah, he didn't get much shine, but no, Hawkeye's worth. I just started watching. I watched the first episode of Andor, so I'm very curious to see how the rest of it shakes out. Obviously, Angel, disagreed that he didn't like it. Starman thought it was cool.
Well, I didn't like Book of Boba, so I might watch Andor.
You didn't like Boba Fett?
It was okay.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, like it's fine. Like watching once is like something. Like,
well,
unless you really love Boba Fett.
I've only ever watched everything once because there's so much to watch. Like I have no time to go back and watch things over again. I really don't.
Yeah, no, I don't have that anymore.
Yeah, same. No, I gave Boba a 3 out of 5.
Yeah,
3.25, 3.25, 3.5 out of 5. So I don't know. I mean, it's no Mandalorian at the end of the day. No matter what.
Yeah, Mandalorian was just too good.
Yeah, Mandalorian is it's too good. It's the best series that they've ever done. That's not fucking Clone Wars, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So, and I've never seen Clone Wars. I've seen like
Clone Wars is good.
I've seen pieces. Like I've seen episodes of it, but I've never seen like an entire series, like an entire season from start to finish of Clone Wars.
Yeah, I heard Rebels was good, but I didn't watch all of that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Or whatever the sequel was. I think it was Rebels.
Yeah, it's Rebels. I didn't see that either.
So. Yeah, I always thought he was. I think with Ahsoka and when she fought Darth Vader. I think that
looking forward to seeing. Yeah, and I saw that. I saw the highlights of that one. That's a good fight. Yeah. I can't wait to see Ahsoka when she gets a series come June. It's coming up next month, I think, right?
Oh shit! I didn't know it was that soon.
It's either June or August, one or the other.
Right. So. Also, yeah, we're getting on track. Let's actually get started.
Yeah.
I know.
It's still geek talk, though.
It's still geek talk, yeah.
It's not pro wrestling.
Some news real quick. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. Is getting a TV anime in 2024.
Doesn't sound interesting.
Probably not. Yeah, because MAL's back up finally, so I can actually read shit. Yeah, yeah, all that. My new boss is Goofy. It's getting a TV anime.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that. That's interesting.
There's no release date yet for that.
Goofy's one of my favorite Disney characters too.
What else is there? Medalist is getting a TV anime. I believe that's something to do with ice skating. Yeah,
that's with ice skating. Oh,
this one I probably would watch.
Is it like Yuri on Ice?
No, I don't know. Hold on, let's read the synopsis. Becoming an ice dancer was not what Tsukasa had aimed for when he decided to take on the figure skating world. However, it is where he ended up as he started too late to follow his true solo skating dreams. For years, he was content with being a shell of his former ambitions, that is, until he met a little girl in whom he saw himself. Inori Yutsuka, a fifth grader so desperate to skate that she practiced in secret, had visited Tsukasa's rink with her mother to ask for lessons. She was branded as useless by everyone around here.
That sounds nice. You can stop. I'm gonna watch it. That sounds that sounds wholesome and like heartwarming.
And there's some drama in there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty heartwarming. I'll watch it. That sounds good.
I am adding to list. Yep.
When does that come out?
There's no date yet.
Okay.
But I'm gonna assume next year.
I have to go through the summer list. Oh, good God.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it. I think it's like already at 20.
Is it at 20?
Probably. It's like 17, 18. I don't want to look at it anymore.
I'm at the high teens for sure. I'm just like, oh God. And I want to make time to fucking study for a certification for work. And I'm like, I don't know when the fuck I'll be able. I'm like, damn, do I have to take a whole hiatus from fucking anime? I hope not.
I hope not too. Like Jesus Christ.
I know, having a life.
Yeah. Also, Nippon Anime and Film Culture Association established to solve problems in anime industry. You were the one that shared this.
Yes, I did. I thought that was very intriguing. It is very interesting to hear that they're gonna really like kind of band together to solve quote unquote problems. We'll see how many quote unquote problems they do solve. But
the main problem is piracy because it's unavailable to a lot of countries.
that's not the main problem.
But I still think because with the piracy, they lose a shit ton of money, lose billions a year.
And then it doesn't go to the people that need it either, which is why they're complaining in the first place. The fucking animators and the voice actors and
yeah,
the mangaka
everyone.
and all illustrators. It's just a trick. It's a waterfall effect, and nobody hits it. So, what is really, the main issue? Like, it's just company. I mean, that sounds the way you just mentioned that. That's just corporate greed. That's not an issue to the consumer, nor it is really to anybody else at the end of the day, unless they say, unless they make a promise or a vow or some sort of like actual contractual agreement that any money recovered through piracy goes directly over to all the people going downwards and not any of the
Or
companies
in that studio,
yeah, exactly. Or unless you guarantee that it's for a specific budget, then maybe you could do that. Because there's some times where we won't get your second season because of budgeting issues and whatnot. So
yeah. Again, this is a new story, so when we do find out updates, we will let you all know.
indeed, sonotori desu.
Anyway, okay, good. The cat calmed down. Alrighty, let's get to your solos. It's been a while for you.
Oh man, fuck. I was not.
You don't have to do 2 episodes because we already talked about a good sum of them.
Yeah, we did. What are my solos anyway? Oh, Galaxy Next Door and Ray Liana. You really should watch Ray. I wish you had more time or to pick up.
I know.
Ray Liana is such a good one, dude. Ray Liana. So let's start off with Ray Liana. It was I should start off with Galaxy Next Door. I'm gonna start off with Galaxy Next Door.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, so let's start off with Galaxy Next Door. Galaxy Next Door this week was actually really solid. Basically, did Starman talk about Galaxy Next Door last week?
Yes.
He did. Okay, cool.
He did.
So we can pick up from this week. All right.
He picked up. Yeah, he talked about the last of the ones you are watching.
Okay, cool. So this week's episode of A Galaxy Next Door basically follows Shiori. Shiori is looking for more work, and she applies to 2 different places. The first place said, "Nah, there's a conflict of interest. We appreciate it, but no thanks." Okay, well at least they wrote her back. That was nice. The second place, she actually worked a day, and she basically struggles with having like communication issues because she was never really like around people in like an informal setting very often in her island. So things get a little awkward between her and the mangaka. And she's like, well, I don't think he's going to bring me back. It was really awkward. Da, 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 da. So she was kind of in the dumps about that. The kids hear that she's in the dumps and they pop out and they're like, hey, you know what makes us feel better? Yakiniku barbecue. So they
exactly.
Always. Meat always makes everything better, guys. So so they all go to a yakiniku spot and they all enjoy themselves and have a good time. And it's actually Shiori's first time going to a yakiniku place. And she basically kind of tells the group like a bit of her past. And she's like, the reason why I think I struggle with communication issues is because since I'm a princess, I was never truly allowed to, be like informal with people. And it goes to like a flashback scene when she's a little girl. And she's sitting by herself, like on like kind of like this chair, but it acts like a throne. She has an attendant there, and the attendant is like, "Oh, can I go out?" She asked the attendant, "Can I go out to the party?" And the attendant's like, "Nope, you can't." And she gets disappointed. A couple girls, or a boy and a girl rather, come up to her and they're like, "Here's your food, princess." And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." She's like, "Hey, can I sit with you guys?" And the kids kind of get turned off. She's like, "Yeah, but we don't want your clothes to get dirty because then we'll get yelled at if they do." And they walk away. And then the princess just looks all depressed. So it's a rehashing of the fact that she was, it was very strict like upbringing, and that's the reason why she struggles with communication issues. So as they walk home, she and Ichiro have another conversation, and again more communication issues basically kind of arise, and so it's a little bit of like an awkward situation between them, and so things kind of end up being that way, I guess. So they both are kind of like just contemplative over what's going on. Shiori, trying to get her mind off of everything, basically puts herself like she basically turns into drawing. Like she just goes and draws and draws and draws and draws, trying to get better at her craft. But meanwhile, Ichiro basically says like, "Hey, I can't really when I want to talk, there's so much I want to tell her, but my words let me down. So I'm gonna write a letter." So he starts trying to write a letter, but he can't think of what to say in the letter. And he's like, "Well, fuck, what am I gonna do?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm a mangaka. I guess I'll just write a story. I'll just draw a story. So he proceeds to draw 80 pages worth of a story. The next morning, they talk a little bit, and he gives her the story basically, and he's all like bashful and embarrassed over everything. But Shiori absolutely loves it, and she begins to bawl, just crying out of like pure happiness. And she's like, "This makes me so happy." And so Ichiro, and I forgot to mention at the very, very, very beginning that Ichiro, at the start of the episode, truly is Ichiro goes over to his editor and presents the story that he made, and the editor loves it and mentions like, hey, like a lot of your work in the past was really missing this thing, like, something has changed in your life and you're really able to hit these notes. And he's like, oh really, I don't know exactly what that is. So that was a key piece. Anyway, the episode ends though after Ichiro's like all excited. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get back to work. So he starts going to work, and he gets a phone call. I forget the guy's name. Turns out the phone call though is from the sensei that Shiori had worked with, that very first one. And she's like, "Hey, you have an assistant named Shiori?" And he goes, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, she's a bit weird." Da 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 da. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, well, we're actually dating." He's like, "Oh, that makes perfect fucking sense. I didn't know that." And they proceed to talk a little bit more. He's like, "Oh, now that I know that, I understand where she's coming from a little bit. Tell her I would love to work with her again. She can come by, if that's okay with you, since you're her boyfriend." And he goes, "No, I'd love it. Give her the work she wants, and we appreciate it. I'll let her know." So the episode ends with Shiori getting that second assistant job with the mangaka, who happens to be Ichiro's friend, and all's well that ends well there. So it was a cute episode. Now Ray Liana next door.
There you go.
And he spoke about Ray Liana, right?
Yes.
This week's episode of Ray Liana is by far the best episode. So the episode starts off with Ray Liana waking up, and she sees she's in bed with Noah, and he's like, "Why is Noah naked?" And then she goes, "Why does my lower back hurt?" Like, "Oh, did we do something?" So she asked Noah, like, "By chance, did you do something with me last night?" And he goes, "Well," he's like, "Yeah, you were begging for it." And she's like, "Holy shit." So she opens the door and sees Adam there, which is the chief attendant, Lord Adam. And he goes, "Adam, take me away somewhere." Just basically. And basically Adam whisks her away through the window out the door. And like Noah's mind blown, because again, he's basically the only one that's ever been able to control Adam. And like, wow, Adam's listening to fucking Ray Liana. What the fuck? This is weird. So he starts a search across the entire grounds, trying to find them, like trying to find them, rather. Trying to find them. Can't find them, right? Meanwhile, they're at the ends of the grounds, and Ray Liana asks Adam, like, "Hey, can we go out?" And Adam's like, he doesn't speak. So he's like, "No." Shakes his head, "No, don't want to go out." He's like, "Of course not." And she's like, "Hey, do I smell?" And he's like, and so he takes her over to the common showers on the grounds, like for the nurses. I'm sorry, for the maids and stuff. So Rayliana showers, she gets herself refreshed, and she's like, "I've always wanted to try a maid outfit on." So she puts on a maid outfit, puts like a disguise basically, and goes around the grounds for a little bit. And she goes to get Adam food. They eat a little bit, and then Adam's like, "Oh well, why don't you go in the study?" Basically. So he leaves her in the study, in Noah's study. Meanwhile, Noah has a guest of some kind, like some sort of aristocrat, and basically he was supposed to meet with Noah, but Noah cancels that meeting because the main priority is trying to find Ray Liana. So the aristocrat's like, "Hey, well, I don't mind waiting for him. So do you mind if I wait in this study?" Sure. So they go in the study, and Ray Liana's trying to get a book, and they have like a brief interaction. Noah comes into the study, happens to see Ray Liana, and they have a very like kind of like intimate thing. And Ray Liana's still pissed off, like, "Oh, like you're a pervert. I can't believe you did something to me in my sleep." And he goes, "I was just joking." And Ray Liana's still bothered, and so he actually genuinely apologizes, which apparently is something that Noah never really does. Like he genuinely like starts
Well,
like,
I never.
yeah. So meanwhile, the aristocrat is like, "Is that Noah? Did he eat something bad? What the fuck is going on?" And then he's like, "I heard the rumors that it was a contractual relationship," which is true. She's like, "But that was definitely more than just contractual. Like, what is going on?" And so, Ray Liana's like, "Okay, like, all right, I get it. But, and she's like, 'Do you forgive me?' And Ray Liana's like, internally, she's like, 'Well, I have the advantage. I'm not gonna be so quick to forgive him. And he puts the charm on her, grabs her hand, like seductively nibbles on her, like on like the meaty part here between your fingers. Like it was like very sensual, and she gets flustered as fuck. And then he's like, I'm not gonna let you go until you forgive me. Just all like really hot. And she's like, all right, fine, 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 fine. And she gets wicks. She runs away. But before she runs away, she stops and she's like, she feels her heart, and she's like, what is going on? Because she's starting to feel something for him. And so the episode continues. Basically, the next day is their engagement ceremony. So she gets put in this like beautiful, beautiful dress by this like premier like wedding dress designer, and it's absolutely gorgeous dress. And so they go about the ceremony, and you know everything is all well, all good. And then Ray Liana, I guess they flash forward, I guess, kind of to her laying in bed, and she's exhausted. She kicks her feet up, takes her heels off, and she's tired, and she closes her eyes. And when she wakes up, she's in a bed of roses on a lake with Noah. And she's like, where the hell am I? I was just in bed. And he's like, oh, you just, you know, happen to fall asleep. You know, it is what it is. And so she goes, hey, we need to talk. And he's like, and as they're talking, there's fireworks going on. It's a fireworks festival, and it's beautiful. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing. She's sitting in a bed of roses, fireworks going off with her quote unquote fiance. And like I said, it's an absolutely beautiful scene where she's like, hey, we need to talk. And he's like, so you're done using me and you're just gonna throw me away. And she's like, well, when you say it like that, you make me seem like fucking a scum bitch. Like, don't say it like that. But he's like, but I'm right, right? And she goes, she hesitates, and they start having a real conversation. And she goes, have you ever been in love? And he goes, no. And she goes, well, why not? You're Noah, whatever the fuck his last name is. Like, you're Noah. You're like, you know, you're this premier like lord. Like you've got everything. Why haven't you been in love? And he's like, when you fall in love, you fall into risk of losing everything, basically, which is very true sentiment. You know, it's very, very understandable. So he's like, I was always taught to not lose myself, lose everything that I've gained over love. And she goes, okay, I see what you're saying. And then he goes, as you know, Raeliana's like talking to him. He's like, but you know, he's like, I want you to stay with me. He's like, I want you to stay with me. I want you to use me until you can't use me anymore. That's what I want. And very powerful. And she looks at him like, kind of like, wow, fireworks are going off, beautiful scene. And then all of a sudden, Raeliana stands up and she looks to the shore, and Noah's like, what's going on? And she sees a girl with blonde hair, which there aren't many blonde women in the thing. She sees a girl with blonde hair. That is supposed to be the original protagonist. That's supposed to be the woman who Noah falls in love with. And she sees her at the shore. And keep in mind, like I said, throughout the scene, I really want to make a point that this scene is so beautiful, not only because of like the scenery, but because of the ED, which is a different ED than I think what they do. It's an I want to send it to you. I'll see if I can find it to you. It's a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous ED, dude. Like, and
yeah, if you can find it, send it to me.
The lyrics match, and I don't know, like, it's not like I said, their normal ED, which I like their normal ED. And it's the lyrics match the scene perfectly. Like, it's like, oh, like I think it's something along the lines of like, let me love you until I can't, or let me love you until there's no more love, something along those lines. But it's really, really, really poetic. And it matches the scene perfectly. And the scene goes out, like I said, where you see the silhouette of the girl with blonde hair staring at the shore at Raeliana, who's her friend with Noah, the person that in the story she's supposed to be with. So that was a great cliffhanger to end on. So I absolutely adored this episode of Raeliana, and I agreed with Starman. This is definitely the best episode that they've done. And I do want to point out his point that he made in the chat over the fact that this is supposed to be some sort of mystery drama, but the love aspect is so like pronounced in the show that it's hard not to fucking find yourself fully engaged in the ship, basically. And it's becoming one of those, like, you know, ones to look forward to on my list, truly. So that was a great episode.
All right, and that's it for your two.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my turn. Mashal, Magic and muscles.
A recap. Moving on.
But no, I gotta talk about last week's. So I did watch the recap because it's like, oh, I need a memory refresher anyway. I go where we left off. Yeah, we bet where we left off. Silva is going up against Dot. Dot is the redheaded protagonist who thinks he's a protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Silva's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this spell to both of you, to Dot and Mesh, 5 times each. And if you survive, I'll let you go. You guys can have my silver coins, and I'll leave the girl alone." So Dot's like, you know what? Don't leave Mash out of this. I'll take his hits too. So he's gonna take 10 hits of this Iron Fist, the oldest Iron Fist spell. He takes them. He actually takes all 10. And he's like trying to be nice to this girl that they're trying to protect, but you find out Lauren, she's actually a bitch, and she was one of those that uses her words for magic to manipulate men. So Dot fell for it, and her and Silva, they were like laughing at him, and Silva gets a fucking cream puff in his mouth because Mash is pissed.
There's a joke somewhere.
Yeah, there is a joke somewhere. Yeah, so Mash is like, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna kick your ass now. So now Mash does tricep magic. Quote unquote. Because again, he has no magic.
Ooh.
So he's like machine gun type, barista type blows. Well, I'll get to the judgment quality in a minute. But no, Mash, he actually gets a hit on him. Silva goes down. He's like coughing up blood. It's like, oh yeah, that's 1 hit. So are you sure you can take 9 more? The guy's like, huh? It's like, yeah, you gave him 10. I'm giving you 10.
No.
It's only fair.
No.
He did not last.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Lauren sees this, and then once that's over, she goes to him like, oh, he made me do this. I was only following it. Like she's trying to manipulate Mash. And then Mash is like, don't worry. He's like hugging her from behind. It's like, oh, see, I got him on my spell. German suplex the bitch. I treat everyone equally. So she is knocked out.
Wrestling in 1984.
Yep. Pro wrestling. Kazuma would be proud indeed.
Steel.
Exactly. No, not that part. No, he's a good boy. Mash's friends, they meet up with him, and now since Mash has 5 silver pieces, it turns into 1 gold coin. And of course, also Silva, he was bragging about how he had 2 gold coins in his first year, and he got his ass kicked by Mash. So, but yeah, Lance met up with everyone too, and he told them, "Oh yeah, this group we found the group that basically was trying to go after you. It's led by a guy named Abel, and it's from the Lupus house." So that happens. We go to the Lupus house with Abel's his lair, basically. You see him talking to a doll. Mash is on the other side. Is like, do I push or do I pull the door? Because he doesn't know what to do with those, so he just breaks it open, and he just sees the guy. It's like, oh yeah, like you're talking to a doll, right? And then Abel's like, yeah. Like, yeah. But yeah, that was the end of that episode. The recap was the father, Mash's father, and the guy that made Mash go to the school read a letter from Mash of everything that has happened, especially with the last episode of him breaking into the guy's lair. At the end of the letter says, "Oh yeah, I'll write to you when I am done with this." It's like, how does that happen? No one knows.
What kind of night?
But no, this was hilarious. I loved last week's episode. All right, moving on. Ranking of Kings. We are now after the main story.
After the main story.
Yep. Now we are after.
Oh, that was an interesting skip. Well, I missed last week's review that you did, but
no, it was more of a continuation of the Oaken story. Half it was but with the right hand man that was trying to look for if they had to cure Oaken. But first half of this is basically the end of the first real battle with King Bosi and all that. Boji's king. Kage left because Kage thinks, okay, I made him king. He doesn't need me anymore. But if anyone remembers season 1 review, the finale, they do reunite. Boji's not king anymore. He wants to make his own kingdom, so he wants to go on an adventure with Kage.
Mm-hmm.
But for this one, it was basically we see Boji doing his duties as the king because this is before he left. Well, this first half.
Mm-hmm.
So he's with Bebin, one of the big four. They walk around town, and we see the kids who were bullying Boji in the very episode. They were actually being nice to Boji, like sign language and all that. Like they're all learning.
I love you.
Stop it.
That's sign language.
Yeah. But one of the other kids, one of the bird is missing.
You know what bullshit is in Japanese? Oh, you know what bullshit is in sign language?
What?
Bullshit.
So if I go like this.
Yeah, like bull's horns and this is shit.
Oh, so
bullshit.
So
that's
go
Kuma.
like
That's the Kuma dance.
Yeah, exactly.
I
can turn it to the Kuma dance. I was smiling dance. Bullshit. But yeah, that first half was like they find the bird, everyone's happy. Second half is where the actual season ends. Daida's king. He's talking to Miranjo. Basically, they have their own little small house since Miranjo still has like people that don't like her. Because I guess he tried to take over the whole kingdom.
Right.
So yeah, Daida is like there. He visits her and all that. They enjoy their time together, and they heard the villagers talking about they're not working. Like there's no work because there's no construction work. Construction got delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to figure what's going on. Like, oh yeah, this happened. The demolition and construction that got halted. Also for the fact that they don't know what to build there.
Every time I hear demolition, I just think of the wrestlers.
Yeah.
I just think of Axe and Smash and fucking sexy chains, dominatrix chains.
Yeah, that, and they should never wear those again.
If FTR goes back to WWE, you know they're going to put them in chains.
You know, Triple H would probably no. Road Dogg would do it because he doesn't like
Road Dogg would do that.
Yeah, he hates that.
I wonder if anybody's ever pitched that New Day wear chains.
They probably would suggest it. Like, no, don't do it, pals.
You got my joke?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I did. They would be first in line to suggest that. You fucking get it. But
creative services, gotta love it.
Yep. So yeah, no. Basically, now Daida's in town. Basically, no, he's not in town first. He's training because he got a letter saying the people that judge the ranks of the kings, they're coming over to see Daida, see where he will be ranked. Because Desha is number 1, king of the underworld. So you see him like training against the big 4, like fighting. Like he's getting better with a weapon. So that training went down, and he also saw Miranjo basically sneaking around. So he wanted to know what that was about.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. I guess my drink's gone.
You bastard.
Yeah, bastard. So that's going on. The construction was continuing. A guy had a piece of the building fall on his arm.
Oh.
So Daida actually helped him up. Like him and the others, I could help lift up the thing. And he actually knows healing. So he due to his mother. So he healed the guy's arm. And then he went to go look for Miranjo, and he overheard her, got in, and you find out Miranjo was actually taking the kids to her place to like teach them stuff like reading, math, sign language. Like she was being a teacher to the kids. So Daida came with the idea, you know what? Let's build a school. Let's use that building to build a school, and you will be the teacher. It'll make Miranjo fit in with the kingdom instead of just hiding in the woods somewhere. So he makes her happy. That was really nice. Good episode. We got a couple more left, and that one is done until they decide where to go from there.
Nowhere.
No problem. Skip and Loafer.
Skip.
Summer. The summer is about to begin soon. I got like a little bit left, finals and whatnot. And then they're deciding student council, like the next like new student council president and all that. And Mitsumi's friend Takamine, she's the one that's been like
Takamichi, huh?
The Takamine.
Oh, Takimi. I thought you said Takamichi. I was like, oh, there's the Takamichi too. Is he a fucking puss?
No, she's nice actually. She's hardworking. A little strict, but she's hardworking.
Okay.
But with Takami, like she's like, oh, good. I can finally be a student council president finally, hopefully. But you find out she lost that election to some popular guy who used to be he was very good in sports and all this. He was going to be a captain of the soccer team, but he declined it to go be a student council president. Like, oh, like if it was picked to be a captain, that means he's good. He's a good leader. Let's make him the president, basically. Yeah, all that shit. So Narumi, he accidentally brought it up to her. Like, man, that must suck. That must be soul crushing for you, that type of thing. And then fucking Mitsumi's like, dude, that time, no, no. Like the wound is still fresh, basically. So yeah, so Narumi actually feels a little bad about this, and it's like, you know what, fine. I'll make her laugh. So he goes into the student council room where, Takami, Mitsumi, and Sosuke, they were there. And they was like, hey, I want to show you all something. It was like his first. No, it was like his first like film, like as a kid, like he was doing direct as a kid, like, but it was a one-man thing. So it was like every actor, every character.
Oh.
So it was like, he's seen made a fool of himself. You hear his mother in the background, his father like, oh, is that a cap? Oh, what you doing? All this, and like he's like, you can tell he's like super embarrassed about it. But again, it's still something he loved, and I actually cheered up Takamine. Whatever. So that was the point of it, even though he is embarrassed. I did kind of embarrass you, but get it back. Like, have it, but you get enjoyment out of it. But they're all having too much fun. It's like, all right, it's over, done. That's it. Fuck off.
Fuck off now.
But no, he was laughing about it. It's like, no more. Get out. So that's going on. With the finals, Mitsumi is talking to Sosuke. Basically, like, hey, what their summer plans are. Mitsumi plans to, go back to her town for summer break, visit her old friends and all that. And then she mentioned a zoo to Sosuke. And then Sosuke is like, oh, like, like they're like very crowded because it's gonna be summer break. Kids are not gonna be in school. And then Mitsumi like kind of freaked, like, fuck, like, I mean, I gotta do something else, basically. Then we flash forward to the student council thing again. What's her name again? Sorry, Takami. She talks to the student council president. Like, she actually is like, hey, congrats, I'm looking forward to working with you. Everyone's happy in that regard. Sosuke and Mitsumi, they're talking in the classroom. And then Miko, or Agashira, the one that like Sosuke, she sees them, but she doesn't go in. So she's like behind the door, like creeping in, like creeping while they're talking. And then Sosuke's like, oh yeah, by the way, I gotta apologize. I actually looked up the website for the thing, like for the zoo. It's actually not that bad on weekdays if we go early, type of thing. So like, oh yeah, I think a group would be nice. And then Mitsumi blurted out, yeah, you and me should go together. Like a date.
Dato.
And then she was like internally screaming in her head, like, why did I say that? I thought
stupid.
Yeah, and then Sosuke's like, yeah, sure. So he said yes.
Oh my god.
No, she's like, no, she was freaking out of that too. Like, am I that type of that's just a friend?
Oh no.
But But no, she's happy with it. But the other girl's not happy.
Of course not.
Mika's not happy. So she
How dare you
leaves.
steal my
She
man.
leaves the school. She leaves the building like rather annoyed. And a new girl comes in.
Of course.
That her name is Saijo, and she knows.
Side hoe?
Oh, not Saijo. Stop it. She could be. I don't know.
She could be.
She could be. But yeah, she said she was looking for Sosuke. And then Mika's like, oh yeah, he's inside.
That
Like,
piece of
have
shit.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, go.
Yeah, go fuck him too, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like, you're pretty. Well, I was fat as a kid. I work for this. You're naturally beauty. Go ahead. He likes the natural ones.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, this is when Sosuke like ran out, like left the classroom when he was talking to Mitsumi because that girl was talking to Sosuke like on the phone, like, oh yeah, I'm here. Like, oh shit, like I don't want her inside. Like, all right, I gotta go. But it unfortunately turned into Saijo sees Mitsumi in the classroom. Sosuke comes back, I thought I told you to wait outside by the gates. Dun. Credits.
Ooh.
So I want to know what this girl's backstory is. Is she an antagonist? Is she a friend? What is she? I need to know. I need answers, damn it.
You gotta wait a week.
I gotta wait a couple of days now. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like a Sunday episode.
like Tuesday. It airs Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right.
All right. Last one, Vinland.
You sure it's the last one?
Yeah.
I feel like you're missing one.
Let's see. Now I gotta look. God damn it.
Nope, you got them all. All right.
Yeah, hold on. Gundam, Clueless, Yuri, Hero, Dangers, Death Play. Yeah, it's the last one. Don't trick me.
All right, my bad.
Oh yeah, we're finally at war. War is here. Canute's ship has arrived. Also, before I continue, there was a mini episode beforehand where Kettle was basically rallying the farmers.
I missed
Kettle popped
last
up.
week. So what happened last week? Briefly, very, very briefly. For me.
Oh my god! Kettle beat Arnheid to death with a stick.
Nice.
No, not that. Well, she's not dead yet, but he beat the shit out of her.
All right.
Like, holy shit, beat the shit out of her.
As you can tell, we at Talk the Kēki definitely support male on female violence. Clearly.
No, we do not. Stop. But no, basically, yeah, he came back to the land. He found out that Arnheid tried to leave. So he beats her with the stick. She was saying she was pregnant with his kid. And he's like, bullshit.
No.
So he said bullshit and starts beating her again and again and again.
No. Was she really?
Yes.
Oh no. What an abortion.
Yeah, no, it was very fucking gruesome. Then fucking Snake jumped in to like stop him from doing that.
Oh no.
But what you call
I
it?
shouldn't be joking about this, but I
No, you should not.
I can't help
Yeah, no, you should not. But yeah, Leaf is also reunited with Torfin, but they didn't focus on that because everything that fucking happened. Like, no, like we don't need a sweet moment. I'm sorry. Even the directors, even the creators, like, yeah, I should have done that, but after what happened here, it would not work.
Yeah.
So I could not.
Beat a pregnant woman with a stick. How dare you try to be funny in the same episode?
Yeah, no, like not like a heartfelt reunion and then domestic violence. So no. But yeah, that was what happened. Kettle's fired up. He's right. He wants to fight the king, even though he's a fucking pussy. He's a fucking liar.
Okay.
Now we move on.
Sorry. Thank you for that recap.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll find that clip for you.
I don't want to see a pregnant woman get beat by a stick. You ever had a pregnancy scare, Matt?
No, thankfully.
Oh, God bless you. I have. I was gonna say, have you never considered pushing a woman down the stairs with her consent?
No. I would not do that. But Bash was late for a little bit, but like a couple of weeks late, like weeks.
You guys don't want kids, right?
We were so back and forth, but no, if we do, we want to do a foster program.
You don't want a little Matt?
No.
You don't want a little
we hate
Matt?
children.
Okay.
We have fun about it, but at the end of the day, like, no, we do not like children. And with our jobs now, we do not have time for it.
You don't want to come home to a crying baby?
No.
Papa, papa.
We both would not. We got 2 cats. That's enough children.
This is true.
They're money anyway.
This is true.
Anyway, let's move on. Canute's forces have arrived. They send a messenger to King Kettle. Says, "All right, last chance. We want the land. Surrender. We'll figure something out. If not, we're gonna kill all of you. Got it?" And then they run away. But Kettle's like, "Nope, we're not doing that. Fuck that." Snake did a recon, like looking at what their situation is like, because Kettle's army has 370 people, and all of them have no experience except for Snake, his crew, and Forgill. Everyone else, nothing.
They have 307 people against how many?
100. Snake, yeah, he did recon, and he told Kettle, "There's only 100 men." So Kettle's like, "This is going to be easy."
Or will it?
No, actually, no. Even
They all have sticks, and they all look at you like pregnant women.
No, because Forgill was talking to his brother Olmar because he's trying to educate him on war. So, all right, this is what's going to happen. We're not going to do this plan. All this. There's 100 people. I used to serve under him. Yeah, they're all incredibly fucking strong. Probably one of them could kill about 10 of them. And since they all don't have experience, no. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do our own strategy. We're going to go in the water. We're going to sneak up behind Canute and stab him there. That's our plan.
All right, sounds good.
But yeah, they don't tell Kettle and all this. And then on Snake's side, Snake he's getting ready. He's preparing to fight because he can't leave. Well, his soldiers are like, "Dude, fuck this. Like, let's go while we can." And he says, "I can't do that. He gave me a home after everything." And he tells his men the truth about Kettle. Like, "Oh, I thought he was the Iron Fist." Like, no, he's not the Iron Fist. They just both had the same exact name. So he took credit for it because they shared the same name. So you know what? So yeah, he's a con artist. You find out more about Kettle being a piece of shit. First being Arnhide near to death, and now taking people's name and glory. All that shit. But Snake's like, "Fine, like, but do not tell people that." I cannot stress that enough, basically.
Right.
But his men to follow him, like, we're gonna fight. They go to the battle the next day. They're on the battlefield, and of course, Kettle's men getting their ass kicked. He's looking for his sons, like, where are they? But they're in the water. But Olmar, he swam back to shore. He's like, "I can't do this." Basically, a guy that talks about war so much, he doesn't want to do it. Deep down, he's scared. So Forgill's on his own for that part of the mission. The other side, Thorfinn, Einar, Arnhide, and Leif, like they're leaving. Like they want to leave. They want to be out of here before there's bloodshed, basically.
Okay.
And Thorfinn, he's like decided if he should stay or go.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah, because he doesn't want. Because there's got to be a way to avoid this type of thing.
Right.
So just because the guy he doesn't want slavery war anymore.
Right.
But what's going on? Arnhide she's still in a coma, and she's like having like a near-death like flashback in her dream. Like she's on the carts with her dead husband and her dead children.
Mm-hmm.
They're like talking all this, like we're almost there. They stop at the gates, and they says, "We can't go yet. I think you should say goodbye to them and like thank them for taking care of you."
Mm-hmm.
So okay, I guess. But Arnhide, she wakes up. Einar's happy about it. We don't see that. We'll get that goodbye next episode. But the other side, Forgill, he pops up out of the water. Canute's in his sights. He's about to get out of the water. End episode. I'm like, motherfucker.
Stab a bitch.
Yeah, he's very sad. Exactly. All right, that's it for our solo. Let's go together.
Took us an hour.
Yep. Well, we talked 45 minutes. We spent 15 minutes talking about everything else.
17 by definition. So I actually spent fucking 40.
About 40 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not bad.
approximate.
All right, moving on. There's no Gundam because there was a recap.
Yep.
For Mother's Day.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
What a coincidence.
Let's get with the amount that play.
You don't want to start with Kubo since it came back?
I was gonna say that for near the end, but we can just start.
Okay,
with Kubo.
no, if you want, I'll go with you.
No. I want to say that because it came back.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna go like the rom-com thing then.
We could do that. We could do that as a
We could do a rom-com and then end with for those who haven't seen our background yet.
Yeah, we'll do our 2 main eventers and then the rom-coms.
What's our 2? What's our 2?
That was it, like our co-main.
What's our co-main?
We can do Demon.
Okay.
Unless you have something else in mind.
Stone.
All right, we'll do Stone. So we'll do Demon, Stone, main.
Okay.
And then we'll do the rom-coms, and then we'll do everything between. Oh yeah. Dead Mount Death Play. I love Polka's father. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah, Polka's father's pretty gangster.
Yo. He don't fuck around. He don't.
No, sir, he does not.
Well, before we get there, Polka and Misaki, they're at the family mansion.
Yep.
They knock on the door.
Yep.
They see the
twin.
Sayo and Kazuki.
Yep.
Is that your lesson?
No, that was Siri because it randomly heard its name.
Okay. And who is that uncle? Do you know his name?
Which one? The one that ends up being killed?
I feel like he's the killer type of thing.
No, well, it's not important.
Takeru.
Oh, that's not the uncle. That's the nephew.
Nephew, sorry.
Yeah, I like uncle. I was like, Polka's an uncle, and then you have that other piece of shit that got killed at the end.
Yeah, I was talking about Takeru. Sorry.
Yeah, Takeru.
Yeah, he's the one that seems like he's playing all this shit. But
yeah, he's the one. It makes sense. He's the one that employs lemmings.
Yeah,
and we'll get to lemmings later.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
Yes,
but yeah, they all greet Polka and Misaki at the door. Misaki could pull a complete 180 of a change of character.
Oh, she's fucking like the most prim princess ever.
Prim, polite, proper, no murders, hidden scenes whatsoever. All of this, and then Polka's like, "What the fuck?"
Yep. Like,
yeah,
who's that woman?
But yeah, they're at the family dinner. Everyone's talking. He's like, "So, Polka, where were you?"
I found myself.
Yeah, babe. Yeah. And then, this who was glaring? I was like,
the sister, right? The unemployed sister. It was either the unemployed sister or Takeru.
Do you know the sister's name by any chance? Kiri.
Isn't Kiri the friendly one? Kiri's the friendly sister, and then they have the unemployed sister that's like emo. Suzuka's the emo one. Yeah, I think she's the one that was glaring that you're referencing.
One of them were. And then we see the father, Roseanne.
Yes.
He's like weak and all this. He's old.
Should you be up? Today's a good day.
Yeah, like it's a light day for me. Like
every time I heard today, when I heard him say today's a good day, the first thing I thought of, it's a safe day today. Okay.
Yes.
If only those were real.
Yeah, then one of his employees was like talking like I can speak for myself, fuck you, type of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can still make decisions, damn it.
Yep.
But he's like, you know what, Polka? Come
with me into the tatami room.
Yeah, come with me. He goes down, he's like talking, they're happy. By the way, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what you mean, Dad. Pulls a fucking katana out of his shit, puts it to his neck. Who the fuck are you?
You're like, where's Polka? Where's the real Polka? Even though Polka is like hiding the plushie, like hiding.
Yeah, the Polka plushie is there, and then basically
it's like I could kill you right now, but I really cannot because you still look like
there was a mysterious woman behind saying that next to him, but no, she's like, oh. Because Polka, what's it called? Roseanne's like, yeah, I've been through a couple things. I can tell. Like, what's who the fuck are you? And then Polka, to his credit, he starts reminiscing about his past, about how his father sold him, I guess, in his very, very early childhood. And he's like, oh, this is what a parent's supposed to be. Okay, like really, a parent's supposed to fucking hold their son at fucking knife point with a katana. Okay, but
before he
sold into slavery and and solid and
Yeah.
solitude.
But before he could talk, there was an explosion outside.
No, he senses the explosion. He's
Oh,
like,
sorry.
oh,
He says, yeah.
yeah, he's
Yoshi,
like,
I gotta
twins
go.
are in danger. I have to go.
Like, I'll tell
explain-
you when I come back, basically.
Yeah. And he's like, what an odd character. He turns around, boom. Oh, that
Yeah.
shit. That sounds serious. And meanwhile, while that happens, we see the twins are walking, and then they end up getting like, they're like, hey, there's a fire. Come with me if you want to live. Okay. So they follow the fucking guy, and they followed him into like a basement. And who's the guy, Matt?
What's that guy's name?
I think it's like the fire catching or fire breathing bug.
Yeah, he's like the fire breathing bug, but I don't.
His name is inconsequential. It was supposed to be the fire breathing bug. And keep in mind,
he was disguised as a Goro, right?
he was disguised as like an like a attendant or something. Also, while this is happening, we see what's his dick? I forget his name now.
Takeru?
No, not Takeru. Where the fuck is Deadmount? Tsubaki.
Yeah.
We see Tsubaki interviewing someone they call the Phantom Solitaire. And it's basically one of those like high-end, like what's it called, supernatural type criminals. And he's asking them about the fire-breathing bug and like what he knows and things like that. And they're going back and forth on this. So little do they know that the fire-breathing bug is in action and about to get got. They're having this conversation. So anyway, as the fire-breathing bug catches the children, who saves them?
Misaki
saves them.
Yeah, and she's back to her normal self.
Back to her normal fucking insane self, fucking around in a dress.
Yep.
I was very surprised that they didn't have any pantsuit shots. Not even trying to be perverted. I was genuinely surprised they didn't show any pantsuit, considering she's in a flowy dress.
Yeah, no, yeah, she is definitely etchy bait.
She is, for sure. But they no pantsuit shots. She manages to quell the fire, but the fire breathing bug escapes for now. For now. Fast forward. Basically the kids while Misaki's fighting the fire breathing bug, the kids escape up to the house, but the house again is on fire, and they're starting to pass out from lack of oxygen. And who saves them? Polka saves them with his.
Also, we are forgetting the spirit behind the twins is Suzuka, the one that.
Yes, we did.
She perished. Yeah, she's
another sister that perished, and come to find out, she perished because she first saw the fire-breathing bug 2 years ago,
and she was trying to warn.
Yeah, because they said we're going to kill the kids.
Yeah, so she died protecting the twins.
Yep, and then it was a very nice scene after Polka saves them. He's like, I kept my promise. Don't worry, she still cares about you. You're safe. And behind them, the ominous demon type of ghost that was behind them shrinks to a mere spirit, holding her kids, or holding her sister and brother rather, as I assume it moves on to another world.
Yeah, so that part was nice, but there was more. What else happened?
But wait, there's more. So as they go out, Takeru's like, we gotta figure out what's next now. And as they do that, Polka and Misaki are outside, and they notice maid. They notice a maid, and the maid seems kind of funky. Polka corners the maid. The maid loses its voice, and it's the fire-breathing bug in another disguise. And so, another thing about the fire-breathing bug that's really creepy is he goes full Leatherface. He makes these disguises out of people's actual skin and faces and shit. So
that's creepy shit.
100% creepy. So regardless, it's basically Polka and Misaki versus the fire-breathing bug. Polka's running out of mana. He doesn't have much mana left.
Yeah, and there is no mana in this world
because he doesn't have any diamonds or rubies or anything like that to extract them from. And as he's using his evil eye, he's like, wait, there's a second life being behind the fire-breathing bug. Who's the second person, Matt?
I don't know. You tell me. Is it Lemmings?
It's Lemmings. God damn it! Wouldn't you know who won the pony? It is Lemmings, and Lemmings takes down the fire-breathing bug, and the fire-breathing bug basically is caught. All's well that ends well. Also, Takeru manages to catch the mole in his family, which is basically, I think his sister, like one of his older sister's husband or something like that, or his niece's husband. That's his family connection. And presumably they interrogate him and torture him based off of what he knows.
Yeah, but there's
a bit more before we go.
There's a code.
A code?
This world is a buggy program.
Oh yes, this world's a buggy program. Yes, that's the fire breathing bugs catchphrase. As we see the fire breathing bug basically caught in, like, he's in police custody. He's like,
Yep.
I'm looking for what to escape, looking for what to escape. He starts looking up at the ceiling of the police car. He sees the code, and he's like, what the fuck? And then he spontaneously combusts.
And everyone's inside.
And everyone's inside. He spontaneously combusts, but before he spontaneously combusts, he starts hearing voices like, you're fake, we gotta get rid of the fake. So we find out he's not actually the fire breathing bug. And the episode ends with a very ominous, very, very, very creepy and ominous rendition of the Itsy Bitsy Spider with a little girl singing it, waving a umbrella, parasail rather, that says "Fire Control" as she walks away from the burning car with the dead fire breathing bug, quote unquote fake fire breathing bug in it, to end the episode. So I love this show.
No, it's a nice show.
It's a very good show, and if it wasn't, it would get more acclaim if it wasn't for so many bangers this season. I truly feel.
Well, it probably has a second chance in the part 2.
Oh, this is a part 2, ain't it?
Yeah, in fall.
What, Papa? Dosta. You hear him?
Yep, I hear. But yeah, we'll get the second half in October. So.
Oh yay! I'm so excited. More anime to watch. Come here, you little fucker.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to pick you up. Why are you meowing? You're hungry? It's not time to feed you yet, piece of shit. Come here. Come here. I know. Come here. Get fucked up. It came. There you go. Say hi. Say hi to the masses.
Hello.
Koki Kenyo.
Yeah, he may left. She wanted to get out.
Check it away, check it away, check it away, check it away. Hot dog and bologna. Hot dog and bologna. I always do that when I have the cat.
Moving on. Clueless first friend.
You know, I get turned off a lot by the like whole thing that it's like 5th graders, but it's a really wholesome anime, all things considered.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah. Wipe your eye, little bastard.
Do you remember how this started?
Episode starts off with it focuses a lot on the father and Nishimura.
Yeah, the field trip. It was the field trip.
Oh yeah, that's right. What's his face? So Takeda wants to basically hang out with Nishimura, but Nishimura is busy dropping off stuff in the teacher's lounge. From there,
and you see Nishimura and also talking more to Umi.
Umi, yep. And then basically he's like, hey, I want you to drop these off at the class and their guides for the field trip. Yay, field trip. And from there, beforehand, we get we see Kasehara trying to drive another wedge between she and oh no, that's not how the episode started. The episode started with Kasehara asking Takeda if he and Nishimura were going out. She's like, no, we're just friends. He's
that was an after credit from last week. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. I missed that after credit until I saw it before this episode.
So they basically just replayed it here.
Yeah, you see the cat?
Hey, you guys kissing? You guys holding hands?
Yeah.
You guys being degenerates?
You guys touch each other? What's going on?
Is that Taka's like, no. So Kasahara or Samir, she's like, so you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance, you say. But no, of course, like always, it always backfires on the bullies.
Right. The cat.
But then we get the whole field trip set up. The teacher's talk is like, all right, let's work on pairs. And then Nishimura, it's like Kasahara is like, hey, let's do people who haven't interacted together.
Of course.
Yeah, because she wants to be with Takeda.
Of course.
So Nishimura's like, oh, it's okay. Like I'll go with Umi. And Takeda's like, fine, I'll go with Hino.
And he's pouting and shit.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck? My plan backfired.
No, he didn't go with Hino. He's like, oh, I have nobody to talk to. And so Kasahara volunteered himself.
But I was saying, he chose Hino as his partner for the field trip.
No, he didn't. It was Kasahara. He sat next to Kasahara. So basically what it was is like he went to go to somebody other than Hino. And the guy's like, oh, you talk to everybody, so you don't count. And so Kasahara's like, oh, why don't you sit next to me? Kasahara's like, yeah, I got my chance. So they go on the field trip. And what happens to Takeda, Matt?
Which one was Takeda? You mean
Takeda, the main character.
Oh, you said Takeda. I mean Takeda.
It's Takeda. That's how you. It's how you.
But yeah, he's not feeling good.
He's car sick as fuck.
Yep. So all the bumping, all this, he's getting queasy.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's that season for the
motherfucker.
And since Kasahara appointed Nishimura, the person like the medic, Nishimura gets to be with Takeda.
Yep. And so Kasahara's plan backfires once again.
Yep, but what the male bully Kitagawa was like, oh no, you can't change it now. No, let him be with the Grim Reaper. Maybe he'll die.
And then the teacher's like, don't call your classmate the Grim Reaper.
Like, that's not nice. Shut the fuck up, kid.
Basically.
I will push you in oncoming traffic. Before that though, we kind of skipped ahead. Nishimura's father made the lunch and it was like pickled eggs. So it's why is that for? It's like
deviled
egg. What?
Deviled eggs.
Yeah, but that's what they call it. But
you said pickled eggs. Pickled.
That's what he called it.
That sounds pretty disgusting when you really.
I know, but I'm saying that's what he called it. Let's be fair. He's like, oh, you'll see.
No, he called it marinated eggs.
Oh, sorry, marinated eggs.
Yeah, not pickled egg. What the fuck?
And those exist.
You think about a pickle, Matt? You want a pickle?
They're downstairs.
No, where you want the pickle? I'm sorry. Are you
not
MJF?
That pickle?
Are you MJFing? I'm so sorry.
No, I meant actual pickle. Like,
are you gonna go buy MJF's pickle?
No, hell no.
Okay.
I don't know where it's been. But he probably jizz in it and spit in it.
Special ingredient. That's why.
Exactly.
That's why
he would as a heel. He would do that and charge $100 for it.
And some creepy motherfucker would eat jizz covered pickles.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Nishimura, he's tending to Takeda. They're talking, and Takeda opens up like, I've been kind of jealous. Like, I want to hang out with you on this whole trip. But I know you need to make friends as well. So so that's why I was keeping my distance, so you could talk to her. It's like, oh, don't be stupid. I can hang out with both of you, basically.
You're the only one that has a penis. Of course, I like you.
Yeah, that. But yeah, all four of them are now hanging out in the field trip. They have the lunch break. Yeah, they all have the marinated eggs.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, that's what Dad meant when they're magical.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they took the picture.
And they get a flash. You're skipping the flashback. There's a flashback at a couple points. Basically, Akane's father is thinking back on Nishimura and how like she's always been a shy girl that hasn't been able to make friends and she's always been nervous. And that was basically Nishimura realized, this is my father.
Well, you also had that flashback when they took the picture. I was gonna mix that in, but
no, but that was the flash forward. So basically, Nishimura is like, oh yeah, like now I understand what my father meant by this is his magic like thing. This is supposed to be like an icebreaker, like a way to start conversation with friends.
and to get people together.
Get people together. So she takes the picture, sends it to her father. Her father's at work typing away, gets a text message, looks at it, like, hey Dad, like I what is it? Like, I really appreciate the eggs.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them.
And like they're a hit with the friends.
Yeah, and you see the picture there. And the father just starts breaking down, crying in the middle of work.
Yeah, he's happy.
Yeah, she's like, my dear Akane, like, I'm glad she has good friends.
Yeah, but
that was a nice moment.
Yeah, that was, I enjoyed this episode.
You always do. Like, there's always something about it that makes it so like appealing, which is why you want to watch it. But
yeah, if you don't look at it as a rom-com, expect to say that just a wholesome with.
You can't look at it like you can't look at it as a romance because, like I said, it's fifth graders.
The subtext is there, but it's more comedy. It's more slice of life.
It's cringe, but it's nice. It is very much slice of life.
It's how kids would act. That's where the cringe is.
Yeah, it is.
Like the bullies are talkative, like with his hyperactive imagination. With the
I wonder, is this going to be one of those where like they go like further along the line? Like maybe season 2 will be like they.
Probably not.
Forward,
probably not.
Or something.
I think it's just gonna be just this.
Because it's very interesting. Because I'm sure you and Starman talked about it last week, but the end of last week, where it's like, oh, if we're just friends, why does my heart, why does my heart fast?
Yeah,
And
no.
basically, like they're both like they both feel things.
Yeah.
Another question I have: why are their shorts so fucking short? That bothers me a lot.
Japan, I don't know.
Why are the shorts like?
Though their summers are really brutal. So
I get it, but their shorts are like looking like underwear, basically.
yeah,
It's almost like they're wearing bloomers, like the boys. They're
I
so
get
fucking short.
I guess they have a Daisy Dukes face. I don't fucking know.
Seriously,
It's like holy shit.
a bit too
But
short for me.
all right, let's move on to my home hero.
So tense, dude. I really wish, I truly wish I didn't pick this up because it's so fucking tense. I made the mistake of basically watching Oshi no Ko and then this back to back. That was a horrible fucking choice this week.
I'll let you take this one.
This was a horrible fucking choice, honest to God. The episode starts off with the tension from the previous week where we see Reika speak to Kyoichi, and Kyoichi's like, nice to meet you, da da da. And basically Kasen and Tetsuo are saying, like, hey, the guy's a womanizer, he's a creep, stay away from him. And
Yep.
so what's her face? Reika says, I'm gonna go out too, right? And when she goes to put on her shoes, finds a note that says your parents are hiding something from you. Call me. And so
because that was like hidden below the crumpled paper. Like she read it.
there's a crumpled paper like, hey,
she
call me.
unfolded it.
Yeah, like your parents are hiding something. So eventually she does talk. They talk for a while, and then they're like, hey, we want to meet up and talk more about like what's going on. She goes, basically, yeah. So I'm fast forwarding, and then we'll get to that point basically.
Yeah,
so
we will. Yeah.
So that happens throughout the episode where they talk. Meanwhile, Kasen manages to break into Kyoichi's laptop and find an address for Kyoichi, and she basically sets a mission to go to that address. And it flashes back to the plan B that was mentioned, I believe, in the previous episode. And the plan B is actually quite sinister. What's it called? Tetsuo buys a used tablet and uploads the video, some editing software, and all of Nobuto's personal accounts, and then includes a box, and in the box are his bones, and says basically, hey, you're gonna plant this in Kyoichi's house, we're gonna set him up for the murder.
Yeah.
And so Kasen goes to the house, and
also Tetsuo's handcuffed during this.
Yeah, Tetsuo. Kyoichi takes Tetsuo back to Reika's apartment. Kyoichi does more digging around, can't find shit, and he's on the phone, and he goes, hey, yeah, that's fine, drop it off in front of the door, I'll pick it up, whatever. And so basically there's that. He goes out and he's like, you need to stay here, I'll come back, if you go anywhere I'll know,
and then I'll kill you.
And I'll kill you. And so basically Tetsuo is handcuffed to the house, but he manages to use the keylogger to basically get into Kyoichi's email. And one thing I skipped about Kyoichi's email that Kasen found out is she's able to find out what the plan is. Basically, she finds out that they're gonna set Tetsuo up for the murder, and that Nobuto's father, regardless, is leaving the organization on Friday. So we're gonna kill him on Friday. So she lets Tetsuo know, so Tetsuo knows how to plan. So anyway, Kasen goes over to the address that she found on the email, and it's not quite Kyoichi's address. Whose address did she end up going to? I know the answer. I'm waiting for you.
Was it the apartment?
It was not the apartment. She ends up going to his mother's house.
Oh.
And speaks to the mother. The mother's a
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the mother's a kind, gentle woman.
She's like, I could leave it here right now. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah, she starts thinking about how, she goes over like all basically Kyoichi's childhood and how, their plan is to like have a bakery after the father killed himself, because basically the Yakuza basically forced the fucking father to kill himself with extortion and whatnot. And she's like, I feel bad, I can't do it. And so she walks away. She's like, we got to find his address. Meanwhile, while this is happening, she observes that Reika is messaging Kyoichi, and she goes, fuck, I should have done it. I should have left it in there. Yeah. But regardless, they basically.
Reika's pissed because she's being left out. Because they can't tell, like, hey, we killed your abusive boyfriend.
Basically,
that you think is a good person, even though he's really.
They don't want to get her involved because they know
but
they don't want her to die.
But she's one of those like, I should be included, damn it.
Yeah, like I'm not such a little girl anymore. Basically, is what she says.
But Now she's involved.
Yeah, in essence, she's like informally involved. So basically, Kasen speaks to Tetsuo. Kasen gives Tetsuo her phone, so Tetsuo is able to leave his phone in the apartment. So it looks like he hasn't gone anywhere. And they basically make two stops. The first stop is to a mailbox where they find what Kyoichi had asked to be dropped off, and we find out it's a blacklight. And they're basically looking for the blood or any sort of blood in the apartment. So that's a big trouble. They managed to take that out and managed to get that out the way. The second thing is part of the framing setup. The framing setup is basically they put a GPS into a giant manila folder so they can track where Kyoichi lives. So basically, Tetsuo is able to find the GPS and is able to locate the apartment complex where he lives. They put it in his mailbox. He knows he lives in apartment 903, and they're like, "Great, this should be easy, no problem." As he goes to the elevator to end the episode, the elevator opens up, and who comes out the elevator?
Who was it? Who came out?
Kyoichi comes out the elevator. Tension, so much fucking tension, dude. Oh, and I forgot, I negated the part that was also really creepy is while Tetsuo was in the apartment, he starts reliving everything. It's been a week since he killed Nobuto,
and now he's like regretting it more and more.
and he sees like all the images. He sees himself like hyperventilating over Nobuto's dead body with the rice cooker. He looks at the bathtub, sees the bathtub full of blood and Nobuto's dead body, and basically all that shit. Like he's basically like feeling that like consciousness. The conscious is like screaming at him over what he did, and he just regrets it. And I was saying, I think I was telling that to my friend, to my friend, and I was like, dude, like, who cares if they would have seen his like little tiny penis, bro? That would have like solved him all the problems in the world if he had just reported it the first time.
Right.
Honestly, what's more embarrassing, like having your tiny penis like shown across the web, or potentially dying for what you did?
Pretty much, basically. But this wasn't a bad episode.
It's not a bad series. It's just so fucking tension.
As a fan, me and Starman did talk about that. It's missing something to excel it. This type of thing is new for you.
I don't like it for my heart.
Yeah,
it's a good series, but
I think the problem is they rely too much on the cliffhanger and not the build up to it.
Yeah, maybe.
That's our earlier commission. Like,
let me ask you something, because this reminds me. This reminds me in my own little world, because I haven't seen it, but I know about it enough because you talked about it so much. How does this compare to Summertime Rendering?
Oh no, this is Summertime is miles and miles better than this.
I mean, in terms of like the suspension and things like that.
Oh, even then, the suspension of that is still, they did that so well. It's like perfectly paced. This is just.
Mm-hmm.
This does focus on the last 2 minutes to get them hooked up till next time.
Yeah,
not stuff in the beginning or the middle.
Yeah,
or when it's happening.
Yeah,
that's right, Starbase. Summertime is another level.
That's fair. I figured as much. I was just very curious. About that's the closest thing to like. This
I appreciate the effort, but I feel like there's like a certain degree that's like it's not.
Is it at a 4 for you?
No.
Okay.
As right now, it's like a 3 1/4, 3 1/2.
3 1/4. I find that kind of low.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not the worst thing. It's not gonna be on like my worst or anything. It's still not bad. I just wanted to kick up a notch. Basically, we're halfway done.
We're over halfway done. We're in episode 7.
Yeah, I want more in that.
If I'm not mistaken, though, this is a 13 episode, so we're gonna get another one.
Yeah.
My Home Hero. No, sorry, it's 12. It's a 12 episode.
All right, so we got 5 more. Yeah, a lot of these are like 5 or 6 more.
I am very curious about how they're gonna end this, because basically it ends on that Friday, basically, and this is basically an anime that's told over like a 1 1/4 time, basically. So
yeah, I can't wait.
I am very curious to see what happens.
All right, moving on. Hell's Paradise.
Interesting.
This is very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, we picked up where we left off, where we saw the 2 women kissing. Hold on. Home Hero needs another level of darkness. Yes. Yeah, but we picked up with the 2 girls kissing, and then one of the what's that criminal's name? Aza, was that it?
I don't care. They're basically dead.
But yeah, basically, another criminal and executioner. They're there. They see them. They try to fight, but
Brother combo. You can just call them the brother combo because they're brother combo.
yeah, murder combo. Yes,
It's the brother combo. So the brother combo see them kissing. I'm very sad they didn't show nipple. I wish they would have shown nipple.
But you find out that they're not really girl. There's more.
Well, one is a girl, I think.
Yeah, but the yellow hair.
Yellow hair is definitely
godlike.
Is a nigga. It's a guy.
He's a godlike entity, basically.
We don't find that out until later on in the episode. But yeah, basically.
The brother combo are great. Yeah, they were great.
Were.
Emphasis
on were.
Yeah, so that's going on. Basically, you guys gonna get your ass kicked. We go to Gabimaru and the rest.
Gabimaru happen. They come across a little girl.
Yep. Her name is May.
You find that out later.
Yeah, they get to her.
But before they talk to May, there's a tree demon they have to fight.
They fought Groot.
They fought Groot.
Yes. They fought Groot.
I am Groot.
Yep.
I love you guys.
Yep. I popped for that. I was like, yes.
Yes.
I was waiting for to say family because it's Vin Diesel. Talk about family. Yes.
Family.
I love my family.
Family. Oh, that would have been perfect.
Oh, missed opportunity. That would have been perfect. But
we're spoiling it. That's not. Anyway.
But anyway, yeah, they're fighting the tree. This girl, May, she can pack a punch.
Literally.
Like, holy shit.
With zero effort, manages to judo throw Gabimaru.
Yeah,
he's nimble as a fox.
He's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, like that little girl, so slight, managed to flip me over like nothing. Oh, fuck.
But, someone else decides to finally do something. Who is that, Ethan?
Sigiri!
Yes, our MILF ninja.
No,
sorry. Yuzu. I was talking about Yuzu.
Oh, I was talking about Sigiri.
I was talking about Sigiri with her, her little jutsu with the...
Yeah, no, it's Yuzu. Yeah, she has a cum sweat jutsu. I was wondering what that was. Like, I thought, G shit. Like, I thought
it was like a sweat or something. Like, is she a frog or like
it
what?
It's like it's sweat. Her jutsu is basically like she becomes slippery and slimy, so she can't get caught. But all I saw before watching the episode were the stills, because the stills are making their way across the web, and I'm thinking, I was like, did the godlike guys just like jizz on her? That's literally what I thought. Like, did they shoot jizz and that's what it was? Like, I'm on, like, not even trying to be
the levels of where your mind goes.
I literally thought that. Was it like some sexual like thing where it's just like cum and she's covered in like poisonous cum? That's literally what I thought. She licked it, and I was like, oh, but no, it's some sort of like thing that she drinks, and like her glands like overly sweat, and she makes some sort of like slippery type of like sweat or something. But in any case,
to make herself a little more nimble, like
yeah. She even throws the fat man's glasses away. Like, I don't want you to see my secret.
Yeah. Now you can talk about Sigiri.
Yeah, Sigiri basically Gabimaru ties up May. May starts bawling, crying, and Sigiri's like, "You can't do that to a fucking kid." Like, dude, did you see what the kid just almost did? Like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yo, we were gonna... But then the fucking Groot starts talking.
Yeah, Sigiri basically turns into a mother and like calms her down. And Groot we'll call him Groot, even though it's not his name. We'll call him Groot. Groot is like,
hey, can you let me go now?
Let her go. She has nothing to do with this. Like, oh shit, you talk?
Yeah.
You say more than I am Groot? What the fuck? And they're like, no, we'll take you to the thing. We have food. Nah, we don't give a fuck about food. We have water. We don't give a fuck about water.
I know where the elixir is. Let's go.
No, he said no. He's like, we have a bath.
Yep, a bath.
And he's like, what? Bath. And then Yuzu is like, bath.
Yeah, that's it.
And then he also, as Matt says, like, hey, I'll tell you everything you want to know. And so basically they go over to like this like kind of like haunted type
like
of
deserted
area. Yeah. And they're like, wow, this place is pretty deserted. And they're like, it wasn't like that 1,000 years ago. They're like, wow, you're fucking
this is my problem with being behind everything. I at least read the manga and know where you guys are. Okay.
Fair enough, Chris.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, should we start writing like listen at your own discretion?
No.
But anyway.
No, because basically it's like a 24-hour rule. By the time it comes out, everything's already aired. The next episode's about happening. It's your fault.
In essence. Anyway, so they go to the town. They're like, wow, you're 1,000 years old. They're like, yeah. And so Yuzu goes in the bath. Sagiri goes in the bath. They're like, "Oh, it's a wonderful bath." They're
Yeah,
supposed to see
Sagiri thick.
Sagiri thick. You're supposed to see Yuzu's nipples. You don't see that either.
Yeah.
Those are covered thanks to the water.
Yep.
How unfortunate. But
I was like, how tragic.
how fucking tragic. But no, anyway, so, I'm really glad. At least I'd much rather have no nipples than like utter nipples. Like like in some hentai and anime, like there's like utter nipples.
Yeah,
I don't
like hypersized and shit now.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I hate hyper. I don't get it.
I agree too. Anyway, we digress. So they go and they start talking, and basically Groot starts saying like, "Hey, yeah, the elixir's real, and there are 3 parts to the island. There is
you're on this part right now.
You are here. You're in the center. You're in the forest. So there's the shore, the forest, and the elixir that you're looking for is in the deep mist in the center of the island. But if you go there,
you're dead.
You will find what's called the Tensen. And the Tensen are the godlike creatures. And then we get a fast forward scene to basically the brother combo are getting
fucking massacred
up. They're getting fucked up. And they managed to slice one in half. They slice it completely in half and it just regenerates into brand new. And they said like one feature about the Tensen, they're utterly beautiful. They never age, they never die, they regenerate, and that's basically part of like the elixir. So he basically shows, for example, when Groot rips off his arm, regenerates immediately, and he gets the benefit of it. So regardless, so they now know it's real. Like they get all this information, it's valid information, and Groot is like, listen, like we just want to live in peace. Don't fuck with our lives. We won't fuck with
then Gabi was like, so why are you telling us? It's like, oh, because I know you're gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, this is your last mission. And what do you mean? And that's when they start telling them about like how they're like OP as fuck.
Yeah, so you're not gonna win.
So then we get a fast forward to the end of basically the battle. We see the brother combo just bloody and fucked up, and they're basically dead. The one Tensen basically grabs the Sainome brother, drops him in a pit of flowers. Gorgeous animation as he falls to this pit. He lands. He wakes up. He looks and sees the beautiful flowers, and he said basically as he's falling and they see the flowers, Groot is telling the story like, yeah, anybody who dies turns into flowers, and they're basically brought to heaven, and they're able to live their lives as beautiful like things restored back to the earth. And you see like the really grotesque like thing of like, all these like humans that are dead, like half flowers, like just plastered all around the walls, and you see the branches basically starting to take the other brother out, and so the other brother's like viciously trying to get these branches off of him so he doesn't get taken, and they both wake up. So they're not technically dead yet. Good luck trying to get out, but regardless, still sets the scene for what's to come later, and that's very creepy. Meanwhile, basically Gabimaru's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go basically rinse off my stuff in the shower. Sagiri comes with him rather, and they open the shower and they see Mei there. Mei's freaked out, she's butt naked, and Gabimaru just undresses, and Sagiri's like, what the fuck are you doing, you creep? And she's like, oh, my village, like, doesn't matter, we're not looking at each other like sexual beings. Everybody bathes like normal. It's like, it is what it is, right? And he's all wounded and all fucked up basically, and we get a flashback we don't get a flashback yet. So basically Sagiri sees Mei and it was like, you have all these bath products, but I don't think she knows how to use them, and like she looks very tattered.
Yeah, because she can't talk.
Yeah, she has a giant scar on her back. So Sagiri feels bad, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna basically give you a bath like Japanese style, and like basically gives her the bath Japanese style. And we see Gabimaru looking on, and there's a quote that Sagiri tells Mei, and it's, you're spreading yourself thin, you're wearing yourself thin, you should relax. And it triggers a flashback in Gabimaru of his wife giving him a bath, and it's just basically like a nice like flashback for him, and he realizes a lot. And as he's leaving after he's already done, and Mei basically is beautified thanks to Sagiri, because she happens to, of course, I didn't like that at all. She's like, I happen to have brought fucking hair product. We're going to make you nice and pretty. Oh, yes, because you're totally going to bring hair product on a journey to your death. That makes total sense. Okay. Did not like that piece. But regardless, Gabimaru, it was a nice moment. Gabimaru basically, as he's leaving, looks over at Mei. He's like, hey, kid. And Mei looks and was like, like if you're scared to show your scars, don't be. And Sagiri's like, well, it's harder for a woman to like have that mindset. And he goes, well, I know a woman that has a big scar, and she's the most beautiful woman that I've ever known. and you
Oh,
should.
that's so fucking corny but cute.
It was adorable, and fucking Sagiri is floored. Her mouth is on the floor,
And she's like,
and
why am I
Gabimaru's
like? Why do I have to kill him?
yeah, Gabimaru's like, why are you looking at me like I have turds hanging out my mouth, bitch? and
much.
fucking, and she's like, that was just so like moving and really nice. I didn't think you were capable of that. And as they're walking back, basically, Sagiri has that mind, like, I think Gabimaru's a really nice guy. There's a piece of me that genuinely believes that he's changing very, very slowly. And is that where the episode ended?
More or less. It was
Yeah.
them. It was them venturing out. Yeah.
Yeah, venturing back to the
To the next island. Yeah,
village,
like to the next area.
to the village, back into the village with the mist.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, decent episode. Those fucking gods.
OP.
Yep.
Like everything else.
I can't wait for the next fight.
Indeed.
Tengoku or Heavenly Delusion? Kiriko and Maru, they need money. They want to look for work. So
yes,
they're offering their service to kill these man eaters.
yes. 3 million
million
yen a piece.
Yeah, like they're trying to make the sign on the door, and then it's like, no, you made it too big or something like that.
Yeah. No, they misspelled it.
Yeah, that's right. Like I think they missed like a symbol there. That was like we kill men, basically.
Yeah.
or like we eat them. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, we eat men.
Yes.
We're men eaters, not
Yeah.
we kill man eaters.
Do you remember most of this?
Kinda. So basically they go into the town and they make a fire in the center of like a fucking intersection, and they're being watched by multiple people, and basically they're intercepted by a group of people, and they think it's the Immortal Order. So they go with them like, yeah, we're here to see the Immortal Order. Like, we're not the Immortal Order. Like,
Yeah.
huh? And they're like, yeah, we oppose the Immortal Order. And basically what it is the Immortal Order is they basically do like experiments like on people and make them like into machines, and you see the leader of this, like, I forget the name of their section, but basically she has like a prosthetic leg, and they're like, yeah, and they're like, oh, we have, and they basically offer like some like more evidence to that. They're like, yeah, we met a guy who wanted to speak to the Immortal Order, and he was offering pieces of what's it called, of man-eater for them. They're like, oh my god, it's so much worse than we thought, blah 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 blah. And they're like, well, we want you to do us a favor anyway, since you're gonna go see the Immortal Order. One of our things, they basically protest against them. They're like rival factions basically, and they said that that they've got a man-eater in the basement of their headquarters. We can't make a move on them for fear that they're going to unleash the man-eater. So we want you to go down to the basement and kill the man-eater. So they basically make a diversion with a protest, and they go into the basement, and it's a carport, and there's electricity and things of that nature. Like it's set up really nice because there's no electricity in this world. So, but it makes sense basically. And so from there we get actually a cut to the orphanage, to Tengoku, basically to the orphanage, and we basically see I think it's the professor, right? Or like the scientist is there trying to come up with who the footprint was, and he eventually succeeds and realizes it's Tokyo.
Well, that was last week.
Oh, was it last week? I thought it was
this just focused on Kiriko and Maru.
Yeah, this one mostly focused on Kiriko and Maru.
Yeah, the footprint was last week.
Yeah. Why is it that I remember something? Oh no, never mind. I'm thinking ahead. So anyway, okay, we can fast forward back to things. So they go into the basement, and they see a small man-eater, and they kill it, and then they go around the corner, and they see a giant man-eater, and basically Kiriko begins to hallucinate because of something or another. She begins to hallucinate and sees Maru like taken down. He's like getting eaten by the man-eater.
Oh yeah. This is where she was like freaking out,
and she starts freaking out. The small man-eaters begin to cover her
leg bitten off. Arm.
They rip her fucking arm and leg off. They rip it off, and she's screaming bloody murder. And she begins to cry, and she's like, "I can't believe I'm gonna die." And she gets woken up by Maru kissing her.
Yep.
By Maru kissing her, and basically Maru touches the giant man-eater. It dies. and
they embrace each other.
Yeah,
and
and
Maru
Kira-
goes for another kiss and gets slapped.
yep, that was funny. But
And-
Kiriko's still like shaking briefly. That's why.
Yep. And our baddie comes in, Dr. Usami.
Yep.
So
And he's got a gat. He's got a fucking gun, motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
a real one. And by the way,
so-
Kiriko. And by the way, what's her face is out of bullets. I think.
yeah,
Kiriko is out of
the
bullets.
battery, yeah, the battery's dead. Yeah.
She shot her bullets.
Oh god, I can't wait how they do this.
This will be interesting. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Konosuba.
Funny.
This was
Fucking
actually
Funny.
this was really funny.
This was fucking funny.
But yeah, Megumin, she ventures off.
Yes, she's arrived on the town and she is broke as fuck.
Yep, no one wants her, no one hired her. She
Got fired from her one job.
Yep, she's like wait, like you're fired. What did happen? It's like, oh yeah, they said something to me. They were teasing me for being kids, so I heard them. That's all. Yeah. Oh,
So I burned
okay.
them with hot udon.
Yeah. So that's all you did. Oh, my mistake. You're fired.
You're fired.
So yeah. So now,
Meanwhile, while she's rehashing this in her head, there's a bunch of Aqua's supporters in this thing, and they're just like, "Oh, come join the Axis cult. Come join the Axis cult.
Yeah, and
You'll
like,
learn party."
offer-
I died laughing. They're like, "Yo, you'll get to learn party tricks."
I was like, oh my god, no.
That was fucking funny.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, free food and all this. So come. Megumin's like, fuck no, I'm saying that shit.
No, so and then she comes across a woman screaming. The woman's like, "Oh, they're gonna fucking rape me! They're gonna rape me!"
Yeah, Cecily. That was her name.
Cecily, yeah, and they're talking about the cult of Erin, I think it is, which is the rival goddess. And basically, they're like, "Oh, why would you like defend her? She defaced our fucking our portrait of her." Like,
and then Megumin's like, "Did she?" It's like, "Oh yeah, she also stole stuff."
Yeah, she also stole a bunch of bread. And meanwhile, the woman Cecily runs away and then manages to call a cop, and then they run away. And so that was
Megumin runs away with her,
and she's like, "I'm not gonna join your cult." Stomach gargles,
but I am gonna feed you.
Right? She's like, "Come with me if you want to live." And so
Basically.
they go to the church, and she gets fed, and everybody's calling her a lolly. And
yeah,
she's
and
like,
everyone's like hoarding about it. She's like, a lolly, yes.
Yeah. And so listen, if one of you motherfuckers calls me a lolly again, you're catching these hands. I was like, okay, little Braun Strowman. Okay, I see you.
And then we meet the leader.
Yes.
Zesta.
Oh no, you're skipping a critically funny part. She's like, they're like, "Oh, you got to forgive the men. They're not allowed around children." Like, what the fuck did you guys do?
All of them, like what?
Oh my god, that was funny. So then they meet the leader, Zesta. And
he goes, he's like talking to her and all this, like asking for.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, Megumin's like, thank you so much for feeding me. Like, I'll do anything to help you out as a favor."
So,
and she goes, "Anything?" And he's like, "What happens more of a medical physical sense?"
Can you call me Oni-chan?
Oh wait, can you call me Papa or something like that? And
Sit on me.
Sit on me.
I'm like, what?
She's fucking like 13. I think.
It's like, all right, maybe you're petty. So something. Come on.
She's 13 and the guy's like 50.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like you're asking like sit on your face, see your pantsu, call you Oni-chan or daddy. She's like, how about I just help you get members?
Oh, we love that. And so she tells them a plan. They love the plan. They try to enact the plan.
Like, pretend to get hurt.
Every time it just fucked up.
Yeah, once a cop.
Fucked up. And they're like, "Oh, wait, there's food. You're not gonna buy me with food. Oh, this is so good." And she's eating the food.
Yep.
And then they start having a conversation, and she's like, "Yeah." She's like, the Zesta asks her a serious question, like, "Oh, well, why are you in the town?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I'm actually looking for this, like, this buxom beauty who uses explosion magic." And she's like, "Oh, well, I happen to know a buxom beauty that uses explosion magic, and she runs a magic item shop down the road." And she's like, "All right, well, thank you for that. As a thank you for that and feeding me, I'll help you one more time." So they go, and she does her trick that fails, and she comes across someone. Who's that someone, Matt?
Union and Chamusuke.
Yes, Union and Chamusuke.
She said they look like, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
And then Megumin's like, not looking at her, like, nope. I'm not doing this. I'm not looking at you. Yep. Just starts rolling her down the road, like, Megumi!
Union!
Yes. Yeah.
That was funny.
And we got all that. It's like, I'm here on business. You're under arrest for being a pedophile.
No, so they go. So,
I know.
So she goes, and they're like, all right, they go back to the church, and Union tells her like, listen, you should get away from these guys, and Megumin's like, no shit, I'm aware of that. So they go into the church, and there's a bunch of guards, and they go, Zesta, you're under arrest for what? And then the fucking Sicily and the chef come out. They're like, oh, is it because you were masturbating in a corner creepily? Oh, was it because you tried to sexually harass the priestess of the Church of Aaron? And fucking Megumin's looking at them. They're like, take him away.
Just go. Like she was about to defend him. Like, oh, hold on. Let's hear him out. Oh, it's like, get rid of him. I don't want to see him again.
Get rid of him. And then we find a reveal, which, by the way, was a very interesting piece, which I love for show continuity. Did you catch this? Basically, she's like, no, we received a prediction from the famous fortune teller in the town of the Crimson Town that basically that there's something funky going on with the water, that the demon lord is a demon lord's henchman is poisoning the water. Lately, we've been receiving reports of the water quality being affected at the hot spring, and we suspect it's you, so you're under arrest. Do you remember? I don't remember if it's season 1 or season 2. I believe it's season 1, where they go to that same exact town and they have to solve the water crisis that's there.
Season 2, I believe.
Regardless, that's great continuity.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah.
And I thought I caught that, and I was like, wow, what awesome continuity. That was really cool.
Yeah, now we know what caused this.
Now we know basically the beginning of it. The episode ends basically with they take him away, and the Sicily and the chef are like, what are we gonna do without our leader? And Megumin's like, I mean, what's really gonna be different or missing? And they're like, yeah, you're right, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But basically she's like, oh well, Union, you've been acting strange. What's going on?
I was like, why are you really here?
Well, I'm the one who brought the letter. So they're like, so he got arrested because you brought the letter. Yeah. And the episode ends with Megumin being like contemplative of what she's going to do next, which is obviously free the fucking priest.
Right. We'll get to that. Now we're on the romance corner.
All right.
Tony Kava. We'll start with that because this one will be quick because
it was very mid. This was a very mid episode.
Yeah, that's why I want to get this one out of the way. This will be
basically
first half is it's hot.
Yep.
So
get an AC.
Buy an air conditioner.
Yep, they go buy an air conditioner. They go over to buy the air conditioner.
Well, Kaname beforehand, Kaname is like, yeah, you can buy it. It's all good and great, but it's gonna take like weeks to have install it.
Installed. And NASA's like, I can do it.
Yeah, but then they go buy one.
They go buy one, and then the next
pricey.
part is 100,000 yen. That's about
$1,000.
No, not $1,000.
For 100,000 yen.
100,000 yen.
I thought I saw like 45,000 yen.
They had one for 45,000. When they bought was 99,000.
Hold on.
Hey Google, how much is 99,000 yen in US dollars?
99,000 Japanese yen is approximately $717.
Okay, so $100.
Thank you.
All right, so they bought $700 AC, and Tsukasa says, so like how are we gonna install it? Oh, I know someone.
Yeah, we got to go get special tools for this. So they go into like this like trade shop,
we meet one of NASA's classmates,
Nagiri.
Yep.
Nagiri,
She looks a little bit like Tsukasa, except for the black hair.
Yeah, basically, she got bigger tits too.
Yeah, and you post a picture of her basically bent over in front of them.
That was the picture that I saw. That says, "This is my wife. This is my wife." And she's bent over.
Yeah, like
I thought it was funny.
I know. It's like
I had zero context. I just saw a woman bent over. This is my wife.
While the wife's looking, is like, Yeah, then Nakiri's like, that's nice. And then Nasa's like, strange. He's the only one that didn't freak out when I said I was married.
Yeah, so you're looking for this, and you're looking for. Wait a minute, you're married?
Yeah, like there it is.
There it is. Yep.
And then all of this, they give him the tools. They set up the AC.
Yeah, they gave it to him for free, by the way, as a gift.
Yeah.
And they got some like
what a gift, yeah.
They got some Natsu paste as well. So they got food and free rental on the tools.
Yep, and they set it up. They try it out. It's great. It looks great.
Yep.
But however, bedtime. They can't figure out the right temperature.
It's too hot for Tsukasa. It's too cold for Nasa. Back and forth.
Basically, it was 38 Celsius. No, sorry, it was 36. It's 36 Celsius first.
No, 26. It was 26
Sorry.
Celsius.
I thought it was 36.
No, 26. It was 26. 26
Okay.
Celsius. Then it was 28. Then it was 27. They finally settled at 26 and a half.
Yeah,
And this is over several hours that they have this back and forth.
Yep.
So it's like by the time they go to bed, it's like 3:30 in the morning, and they finally like settle.
Yeah, it's like I love you.
That's cute though. I mean, I get different things, you know. Like, what's your temperature at home?
Like normal, like 56.
You keep the house at 56 degrees.
No, I gotta look at it, but
I was gonna say, I was like, what's your temperature? Yeah, inside the home, not outside right now.
no, but
Because
I guess whatever the normal is.
What I mean, that to define that. I forget.
Like what's the average? Like what's the average?
I keep my house at 75, and I get.
No,
most
I think
people are like it's too hot.
I know. I keep mine in 60s then. Yeah, it's like mid 60s.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, he was just at the house recently, and he keeps it at 68, and he keeps it at 68, and I don't mind that, but I don't want to waste the AC on, like I don't want to waste money on keeping my house at 68 the entire time, so I keep it at a constant 75. And then I had my uncle stayed that night a couple nights ago, and he's like 75 is too cold, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't put the fucking house to 80 fucking degrees.
Yeah,
so I left it at 75, and he was all right, I guess, you know, but. Still,
but regardless, second half, I was annoyed.
It was very annoying.
I forgot she existed.
I didn't realize she existed in the first place.
No, because as I've read this, I forgot all about her.
Yeah, she seems like a really shitty character.
Kagami.
No, it's Kuma.
Yeah, Kuma Kagami. Yeah.
Yeah, Kuma-chan.
Yeah, Kuma. She goes to the bathhouse. She's looking for Kaname, but Tsukasa's there. Tsukasa's like, "Hey, you are very rude, basically."
And annoying.
Yeah, very rude. Very.
I go back and forth. There's a thing about
Kaname
whatever.
shows up, and we finally see her in a school uniform and not in her work outfit.
I forgot she goes to school.
Yeah, that too. I thought she was like, no, I forgot she's younger than Nasa and
Everybody.
I believe same age as Tsukasa.
Yeah, that's 16.
16, yeah. Yeah, I think Nasa's 18 now.
Yeah, Nasa's 18.
Yeah, Nasa's 18.
And he didn't even graduate middle school.
Yeah,
and he's a genius.
Yeah, he's fucking smart. But yeah, now they're all going back and forth. Like this girl's like, I need help with something, but she never says it. Nasa comes in, like, oh yeah, I hear you. I heard you from here. How you doing? Then Tsukasa's like, how do you know her? Like, she's like very protective, like competitive with other women. Like, how do you know them?
It's the worst. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Long story short, they get ice cream. Nothing happens.
And then Nasa's talking to the other girl again.
Oh yeah.
And then Nakiri's like, hey, so what do girls like?
So what is it like being married?
And yeah, what's like being married? So they talked about so Nasa gives her female facts. Like, oh, people buy cookies not by taste, but by design.
By the packaging design in particular.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, the taste is fine though, but you need the cuteness to entice you into wanting to buy it. And so this girl's like, she's like freaking like, oh my god, I didn't notice. And then what else? Oh, you don't drink cold water. Bless you. It's warm water, because if you drink cold water, you'll get chills.
Never heard of that in my life. Never have heard of that in my life.
That's okay. Interesting, sure. But yeah, Nasa leaves. The Carrie hears. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a wife. So she's a lesbian.
Oh, she said what else? No, she said what else? And then Nasa finally said something actually wholesome, like, you know, like she's like, you know, being married has like realized like I've become a better person myself.
Like I'm growing. Like I grow like every day I'm with her and all this.
Yeah. And that was actually really wholesome. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a wife.
Yeah. So yeah, she's gay. So awesome. I wasn't crazy about this episode.
It was very mid.
It did bump down,
especially after the previous one that I missed talking about. Those two episodes, 5 and 6, were great.
Yeah,
those are great episodes.
Yeah, so this bumped down a little bit.
100%. I wrote to you guys in the chat. Like, I'm just I used to love Tony Kawa because Tony Kawa was like one of the first ones that I saw in 2021, and it's like over time after seeing so many great ROMs, like this is bumped down significantly for me. Like I enjoy it, but it's not like an end all be all type of thing for me.
No, as a fade, it's good for comfort until you get to that big thing. It's very tame. Like everything before, after, is tame.
Yeah.
Like there's no conflict, there's no serious.
No, it's never gonna be because that's not how they're built.
As I said, like it plays too safe. Sometimes you want more. You want a little more. Like come on, like Sawa have a awkward situation with someone else by accident, like a misunderstanding. Fuck.
They're kind of adults in essence. I'm not I'm not trying to advocate for perversion, but I feel like if this show could benefit from a little bit more, like,
or we need to find a place to live, and we really need money.
or yeah, that's it, and that's
like that.
That's a serious life couple like discussion. Like we can't continue to live here forever, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's just I feel like it's definitely missing something to like put it over because it's got its redeeming qualities, but
if you're going for just that, then it's fine.
It's a very mid tier ROM, honestly. And the com is fine sometimes. This week's com was awful.
Oh yeah, because
little girl. I did not laugh. I was like, when is this over? That's literally what I kept saying. When is this going to be over?
Yeah, so hopefully it picks up again next week a little bit, or like a better scenario.
Hopefully.
All right. So here's your baby, Insomniacs. Go ahead.
Cheers to Insomniacs.
Cheers to
very, I can't get it out my head, which Starman said. I can't get it out my head now, and I'm scared.
What?
About the whole like Your Lie in April comparison.
Because of that quote,
scary.
That one quote.
Scary, yeah.
Leave a trace of me behind.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Basically, so the episode starts off with Ganta and Isaki trying to come up with like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? So they end up going out. And Ganta gets caught looking at Isaki's picture, which was cute.
Yeah.
And then his friend fucking sold him out on it, which was also funny.
Yeah.
And so basically him and Isaki go out, not a date, but they go around just like hanging out. They're just two friends hanging out. And as they're going to be done for the day, as Matt just alluded to, basically Isaki they basically come up with the idea, let's do a school thanks to
because they were told, hey, you guys, you need more members.
No, it wasn't that. It was that they need help. But
I'm saying like
Ukegawa said like, hey, why don't you do like a club field trip basically,
like an activity, yeah.
Get permission. So you need to get permission from the school and you need to get permission from your parents to be out and do this. Which I have a feeling that's gonna lead to that one scene in the opening credits where you see her crying.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna lead to because
I think we will get stuff like that. But from somebody, yeah.
Yeah, something's gonna break her heart and she's gonna be bawling crying, which is gonna hurt. But regardless, they get the idea like, hey, let's go to here, They plan it out. And for the most part, Isaki is very playful with Ganta, like, oh, you're looking at that picture, huh? Let me see it. And she's like, oh, it's embarrassing looking at myself, but it's a really nice picture. But the ominous quote comes, basically, they're about to separate, and she looks at Ganta, and Ganta's like, hey, I want you to take more pictures of me. Okay, I'll do that. And then under her breath, really quietly, she says, leave a trace of me. And she's very solemn. We don't see her real face.
That's a death flag.
That's a big red flag. And Ganta looks at her like, what did you say? The light turns green and she's like, bye. And she fucking dips. And he thinks about it a little bit later on, but doesn't put too much into it. But regardless, a saying like that in a story like this, bless you, is not good. So we skip forward, and basically, the rest of the story truly revolves around Ganta trying to get Isaki's friends to help them. And so the first place they go.
Oh, before that, the art, the paint, the drawing for that was first.
Yeah, that was the first thing. That's what I was going to do.
Oh yeah, I thought we were going to go to, but no, the other one.
No, this is the first thing. So the first thing they do is they haven't come up with a poster yet, so they go over.
Was it Mina or someone else?
Give me a moment. It is Mima.
It is Mina. Okay.
It is Mina. So they go to Mina first, and Mina is a brilliant, absolutely brilliant artist. Like she draws, like she's drawing a sculpture perfectly. And she goes, please help us. Like, will you help us out? And she's like, well, I'll help you, but I need to finish my work. And drawing these statues are boring. So Ganta takes his shirt off and she begins to draw. She's like, nope, I can't do this. Put your shirt back on.
Even
and I laughed at Isaki. She takes the shirt off and Ganta's embarrassed.
Squealing.
Isaki's like, what about the pants?
Yo, she was like squealing. They all so like hot, like humana.
Yeah, the little hormones are going off on them.
And that's when Mia's like, all right, no, okay, put it back on.
Can't do this, put it back on. So they do like a ballroom pose, and Ganta and Isaki are embarrassed. Isaki kind of likes it though. Ganta's really nervous. And
then Isaki's like, hey, relax, because she wants this to be perfect. Like,
and she ends up using that picture as the flyer.
That was beautiful.
It was a beautiful flyer. It kind of reminded me like a Midnight Sonata type of vibe.
Yeah.
No Cold Skull.
Like he's wearing like the tuxedo type of thing. She's
wearing
the
dress, a beautiful red dress,
like moonlight waltz type of dance.
Yes, beautiful. So they do that, and they agree that Mima will help them. Next, they go over to
Motoko.
Yeah, to Motoko, and she's a bitch, and she's like, "Nope, you're not my friend. Not gonna help you. You can fuck off now. Bye." And
she's like saying, "No, like go away, you. I don't like you." Like, she asked me, but no, not you. No.
And she's like, "I can't believe she's friends with that bitch." Basically, is what he said, which is funny. And then we get a hilarious scene where basically Saki steals the nurse's fan, and the nurse comes up like, "You thief, you conniving thief."
Yeah, this was twice. This is the second time this happened because this happened in the beginning of the episode because it was way too hot. It's like,
yeah. So that's funny. So she chases her around after she's like napping, which is cute.
Now, what was the other friend's name?
The other friend's name, Kanami. So he goes over to Kanami. Kanami's on the baseball team, but she struggles. Like, she's not that great, and she gets like bad. Like, she's like, "Oh, you suck. Try it again." And then she like has like a shitty throw, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck off the team already. You're trash." So, but Ganta, like, before she goes to practice, Ganta's like, "I need to talk to you," and she's like, "Well, I got practice," and Ganta's like, "Okay, I'll wait for you," and he does. And when she comes over, she's like, "You've been waiting there the whole time?" And he goes, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, why didn't you wait in the shade?" He's like, "I don't mind, whatever." And she's like, she throws him the glove and says, "I need to practice."
Yeah, so then I'll listen to you. So.
Yeah, then I'll listen to you. And then you see Ukagawa like, "Oh, he was just trying to ask for help. Now he's playing catch with her." Ha 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 ha. But
she keeps missing. Like,
she's trying to be a pitcher on the softball team, and she keeps missing horribly her pitches. And Ganta still sticks with her, and finally she throws a beautiful strike right down the middle, and they're good. And then so Ganta's like, "Hey, I still need to talk to you." And he's like, "Oh, what about what?" And then she's like,
"Oh yeah, about your club, right?
Your club, the club event, right?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, I already said I would help you. Like, I didn't need to do this."
Then they go in the classroom,
and they're like, "Oh, how many people do you have?" They're like, "Oh, we have 5. We're missing Motoko." And
everybody's like, "But she said no." It's like you asked her though, right? He's like, "Yeah, like give it a minute."
Give it a minute. So they start the club. She's like, "Don't leave me out." She's like, "See?"
So I was like, "Oh, she's a tsundere." Okay.
Yeah, big time. And but she's also got the rivalry with Ganta, and she low-key likes him.
Yeah, and then we find out when they're at the restaurant that she works at the family business. It's a family restaurant.
Yep.
Basically, like, even though she acts like this, she likes when they ask for help. Like, it makes her, like, it makes her feel good, type of thing.
Yeah, and her parents are like, "Thank you for dealing with her." Like, she's never really been around kids. She's always been used to being the center of attention here because she's such a cute girl. So she struggles when she's not the center of attention.
Yeah, so Ganta actually like appreciates.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, well, they're like, oh, they said something," and then the teacher who's also there is like, "Oh, I'll give you access to the school roof if you help us to watch the fireworks."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh, okay, we're in." So that's cute.
And he asked the teacher, like, "You sure this is okay?"
Yeah, they have basically the episode ends with she goes outside. She's a smoker. I thought it was interesting she's using e-cigarette, but they don't show her smoking. She's using e-cigarette. And Ganta asks, like, "Are you sure it's okay?" Like, "No, it's not a big deal. It's a one-time thing." And then she looks at him and she's like, "You're too stressed to sleep, huh?" And he goes based off of a quote from I think, was it Ukagawa or was it the senpai?
I think the senpai.
The senpai said, like, "Hey, everybody's got their own circumstances. Just depends on what they are." And so he uses that quote again with the senpai, with the sensei. But it's like, "Hey, everybody's got their own circumstances. It just depends on what they are." And she goes very nicely. She's like, "You have a very worrisome personality, but that worrisome personality will definitely lead to some good in your life. Like, you'll find some sort of success with that." And that's how the episode basically ends.
Very good episode.
As usual. I thought they were going to get in trouble for the picture. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Like I thought literally, like I thought the crying scene was gonna be like they took the camera and some shit happened. She got in trouble. They got in trouble with the family. Even I don't think Ganta's dad would give a fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll find out when we got a couple more. We got a few more to go.
Yeah, we do.
Moving on. Yuri's my job.
Great episode. Yuri is just like Dangers in My Heart. It is picking up.
Yes, it is time for the Bloom Schuester election. It is the top flower for the Libya Girls Academy. Like basically, what you call that fucking slacker? Mai. She was like doing the rundown. But Sumika is a bit of a fucking tease.
A bit
with Kanako, basically to get her out because Kanako won't talk to anyone but Hime.
Right.
She is afraid. She is like nope. I need Hime in my life. Is I need her to tell me what to do. Damn it.
Right.
But before that though, Mai's talking about the elections. This is how it works. Basically, once they order dessert, they get a vote ballot. You do that. Basically, the most votes for this whole event is the Bloom-Schuester. And then Hime's like, oh, can we vote for ourselves? I'm like, oh, yeah, you can do that. And then fucking Mitsuki's like, aren't you going to vote for your own Chan? It's like, oh, like it's like going back and forth between the two for that. Like they're all trying to figure out who should vote for who. But that's like, okay, well, we'll let the customers decide, basically. And Sumika gets Kanako to decide. It's like, hey, do you want your phone? It's like, oh, I'll get it later because I can't have it at work. So basically, once you give it to me, I'm gonna put it back in the locker.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So everyone's palling around, being happy, serving the customers. Hime hasn't fucked up yet. Till Sumika goes to Hime, like has a hand on her, like getting her close. Talking about like being like this adorable little kohai. And then Kanoko just goes up, gets in front of them. And now the customers are like, ooh, she jealous. Like what's going on? While Mitsuki's doing her own thing. Yeah, a lack of Mitsuki in this episode. It was more about Kanako and Sumika.
It was.
Yeah.
I like her though. I really like Sumika.
Oh yeah, I love her too. So
I'd fuck her.
Yeah.
Very fuckable. Great value Marin.
Before we continue, you settle a bet with me, damn it. Me and Starman had this argument last week.
Oh, okay.
We are 1-1. You're the tiebreaker.
Oh God.
Between Hime and Mitsuki. Who's the top? Who's the bottom? I said Hime because of how she is, how manipulative.
Hime's the top or the bottom?
Hime's the top. Small tops exist, and how she has Kanako wrapped around her finger, how she can get Mitsuki flustered, how she manipulates people. She's totally a top. Mitsuki's a bottom. I'm sorry.
That's a fair argument, but I also see Mitsuki as the aggressor. She's definitely more aggressive. I think like she'll get flustered enough to like reverse position.
I think she's like that until you put her in her place.
I think the better ended question is with the double-ended dildo, which one is pushing in more? If you
well, that's not fair because of her weight. She weighs more than
I mean, yeah, but you could also be more aggressive.
Well,
and there's also
Hime could be.
There's different. The vaginal cavities are also like different. Like maybe Hime's goes in deeper versus Mitsuki's.
Right, but I still think Hime will still take more control. Like, yeah, she's tiny, but you know what? She
also has that innocent facade. She's like, Oni-chan, damare.
Yeah, but we know it's fake.
But she's never really been like flustered, because we've never seen Kanako, or not Kanako. We've never seen, what's her face? Hime. We've never seen Hime like really like have that like real doki doki moment. Like a little bit, but not really. We've seen Mitsuki have it. We obviously Kanako has it quite frequently, but we don't see Hime have that true doki doki moment. So in a true doki doki moment, how does she react? We kind of get that a little bit whenever, like, for example, in this episode, where Sumika basically grabs her like and coddles her very tightly, and she's very like like, oh, like that's something like that, and you can see her like innocence in that.
Okay, fine.
I really can't say though, because they both have, to me, they both have more bottom qualities than top, in my opinion.
Like so we'll call them switches, but
Yeah, I would say switches, which
yeah,
doesn't
but
settle the argument.
but I feel like Hime it would be like 60-40 with the DS ratio. While Mitsuki probably 50-50.
Our two viewers are like, what the fuck am I listening to?
Well, I'm pretty sure Starman and or Chris are hearing this, that they know from last week.
Yeah, I think at this stage it's both of them. It's Starman and Chris.
Yeah,
it's either that or it's my friend. It's Karen and Chris. One of the other.
So, well, if it's your friends that get tell them watch last week's and hear us argue.
She doesn't watch. She doesn't watch.
Okay.
She doesn't watch Yuri.
Okay.
I've broached the subject of watching like lesbian animation. I've never heard like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. It's in it's because it's so funny. I would never seek out in any way, shape, or form to watch any sort of like homosexual programming in real life, like real life homosexual programming. Not on my list of to watches. But I'm so like intrigued by anime genre that like I love watching it.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Hollywood gay.
Yeah, like I don't know. Yuri on My Job isn't on my list.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's not, because you picked a Skip and Loafer instead because you dropped something. You dropped something, and I gave you. Fury's like, yeah, Skip and Loafer was your better bet.
That's fair.
And how are you liking that, Chris? As I get to you when we get to that.
Yes.
Where were we? Where were we when we were talking about?
I didn't settle your argument. I said there are more switches. You're saying 60-40.
I'm saying like there's switches, but Hime has a little bit more of a lean top, while Mitsuki is a straight 50-50.
No, I just see. I disagree. I feel it's like 55-45 Mitsuki. I just see the aggression and the passion.
Maybe we'll get a clear answer when the series is over.
She's more aggressive and she's more passionate about her feelings, and I feel like that's conducive in a sexual environment to lead you to like be the aggressor in that circumstance.
Skip Chat and Loafer Kun are great, yes.
But no, like you get what I'm saying though. Like
I get what you're saying, but do you know what I am saying too?
I get it.
I was like, we'll probably get a better answer once it's over.
You know what I feel like if you actually were to see that scenario happen, it would be like the Chihuahua fucking like the Great Dane.
I just want to see Hime pin her against the wall, see what happens.
Oh no! No, she would never do that. That's not in her character. That's
why
I said more.
I meant like out of work.
That's not going to happen. That's not Hime's character. That's more Kaneko. Kaneko is 1000% top compared to Hina. If you get a Kaneko Hime combo, like Kaneko's she's batshit crazy. She would definitely pin her against the wall. Like, why don't you accept my feelings?
No, but
I love you so much.
She's too sub though.
Have you gotten to the hair twirling? You have not gotten to the hair twirling yet. That was a what?
No. That was next, actually.
That's a what the fuck moment.
But basically, we'll get to that in a bit. But where were we? Basically, we get a little more development of Sumika, where basically she's like talking about reading books. Like, oh, I don't really read the books when I have it out. Yet she's recommending books to people, and that pissed off Kaneko.
Yep, and we'll get.
I got another faker, basically.
Basically,
but you find out later on, basically, she has read the books, but like
she doesn't.
The character,
yeah,
because that's her gimmick. But she does that for books she has read.
Yeah,
and then we'll get to Kaneko. He made them reading the book more, learn more about the lore of the festival and all this. And basically they get whatever they want, even though Hime's like, I want to be a door, like that's the default. So no,
it's the default. So come up with something else, basically.
Yeah, but I got to the point where Hime was falling asleep, and Kaneko just takes a couple of pictures.
Creepy.
Yep, right in front, like right next to her. Like, let's go.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the hair twirling, and
grabs, and you have to break it down, like, because it's very sensual, and I appreciate the affection behind it, but because Kaneko is such a creep, like it comes off super creepy. So basically, Kaneko,
it was like downright scary. Like,
Kaneko says she's thinking about Sumika, and she's like, "Nope, Sumika's not going to get in our way." And she says it out loud. She's like, "Don't worry, Hime, I'm not going to let anybody get in the way of us. And she goes very gently over to her head, and she's like, no one can take this moment away from us. And she grabs Hime's hair and intertwines it in her finger, and with the other finger, with her like index finger, coincidentally, grabs her hair, twirls it together, combines the hair, sniffs them very like gently, and like leans on the thread of hair, like in like this like solemn like secret embrace between the two. And like I said, when I say it in that sensual way, like it seems really fucking adorable. Like if this was one of those like moments where she was awake and the feelings were mutual, if you were to do that in like a bedroom setting or against the wall in a very tense but sensual moment, I think that would be amazingly sweet and like very, very like hot. Like it would be like, that would be a great scene. But like I said, because Kanako is such a creep with Hime, it comes off even creepier. Like she seems like the type she'll cut a lock of hair and like sniff it while she fucking jills herself. Like that type of creep shit. Like, I was like, wow, this is hot and creepy at the same fucking time. That was my thought.
Yeah. Then we get to the next day. It's early morning. Kanako's there.
Yep.
And so is Sumika.
Yeah.
But she like normal clothes. Like, oh yeah, you're here early day. And Kanako screams. Like, where's Hime? Where's my mama? So
Hime walking up the stairs, hears the scream.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's okay. She's not for anything. She's just never seen you.
Just a gyro.
Yeah, like she's never seen you in like you outside your uniform. It's okay.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, the glasses are fake, and that's where you get the revelation, like about the books and the fake glasses.
Yeah. Then they eventually Kanako starts calming down.
Yeah, and she's still nervous. She's like, oh, she's scary, and she gets bothered, and so Hime goes in the middle of the outside the salon to talk, and the cook, I forget her name, was like, hey, like, why stop talking shit behind her back, like that's fucked up. And Hime's like, I'm not like talking shit, and Kanako's like just looking downwards because she kind of is. And then they have like a brief interaction between the three of them. And then the episode continues basically where Hime is doing something. I don't know what she's doing. And Kanako is just in the salon, and Sumika Kanako is looking at the bookshelf, reading the book because there's a particular book suggestion. And the book suggestion I thought was very intriguing because it describes their potential love like angle where, it's like, oh, the book is about like a kind of like a woman, a girl, or a man. I'm sorry, a woman who gets a horrible first impression over the guy, and over the course of time, basically, the book basically shows that the guy is trying to make up for that horrible impression in order to, win the girl over. So that's the book that she described to Kanako, and in the salon. So Kanako goes to read the plot, like, oh, she's bullshitting, and she looks at it, she's like, wow, she's actually right, she read it. And then that's where you get the confirmation from Sumika, like, hey, just because I don't read books in the salon, otherwise I wouldn't get shit done, but any book that I've already read. So that was actually a really serious, like,
like that's why I take those books out when I'm at, because I know.
And she says basically, she's like, oh, and she credit to Kanako asked her, like, what are you like trying to accomplish? And she's like, I'm just trying to be friendly. I'm trying to get like, be your friend. I'm trying to be closer to you as a friend, And
because like, basically she needs a Western. She needs a sister. So
yeah, that's the but she doesn't know that. Kanako doesn't realize.
I know, but for her though, because basically she can't be Mitsuki's older sister.
Yeah, and she's got the personality to be forthcoming, but she's very understanding. Out of the four girls, she understands circumstances the best. She knows how to read the room. She knows how to read people. She knows when she oversteps. She knows when there's something going on. She's able to like read between the lines really well. She's got a firm grasp of personalities, especially feminine personalities there, which I think is probably, I feel like let me I guess run this by you. Like in terms of a normal rom-com, you find that aspect of reading between the lines is like sometimes missing. I feel in at least the three homosexual animes that I've seen, that's not missing. Like you get people, like you get a main character that's able to read between the lines within the circumstances of whatever the episode is following, and they're able to catch hints, or they're able to progress on their side of the storyline based off of what they're observing. And that's basically Sumika in this instance, where she's able to try and get that progression, understanding how Kaneko is without revealing the fact that she knows that she's a creep for Hime. So, and I just, that was something I noticed between I've seen Adachi and Shimamura, I've seen Sasaki Miyano, and now this is the third one, Yuri. Yuri's my job. So I get that, that connotation from that.
Right. But solid episode. When's the other bitch gonna start working again? When's the other bitch gonna start working again?
She won't. She already took herself out this bloom period.
I meant in general, but no, I'm just a mascot. I get entertained.
She's the Tensho. She's the manager, but even so, no, she's not gonna work until the series is over toward the end.
Yeah, no. If there's nope, I get entertainment. I get to watch this. I'm just gonna be the mascot while they do the work. That's basically it.
Would you go to a cafe like this? I feel like I wouldn't.
I would go once. I've been to Maid Cafe, so I wouldn't mind.
My nephew went to a Bunny Maid Cafe 3 different times while he was in Japan.
Yeah, I've been to Maid Cafe, Jersey, and twice in New York City.
They have them there? They have them there?
I found one. It was for one was for a convention, to advertise them.
Was that like a pop-up?
Yeah, it was like a pop-up type of thing, and it's basically, if you want a contest, which I did, you go to a legit one in a couple months after. So I went to that. It was okay. As I say, it wasn't like I didn't get a full experience. They were just more or less.
No, my nephew got the full.
I know. Basically, they were just dressed up. That was it.
No, he was in Japan. He got the full Moe Moe Kyun. He got it legitimately.
I'm sure I would if I went to one in Japan, not one in the fucking city in Jersey. But
he got the full Moe Moe Kyun. That was really adorable. Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I did have a male butler type in the Jersey Maid Cafe. He was very nice. He was very well dressed, proper, had this English accent.
Oh, so he turned you on, huh?
A little bit, but
hey, yo, can Bash and I take you home, sir?
No, this was years ago, 10 years ago almost.
I'll be a switch for you, Daddy.
Basically, but well, we got 5 more.
And we're on 2.5 hours in. Yeah. We're back to the good old days of you and me.
Yeah, buddy. We'll try and make this quick. Well, Danger's in My Heart.
You can't really make this one quick.
No, no.
It's another good one.
Yamada's on TV.
Yes, and Kyotaro misses her barely.
Yep, he's trying to he's trying to catch her.
Yes, but this episode focuses very much a lot on Yamada. 100% focuses on her and her feelings. The episode starts off basically with them being told hey, it's time to switch what's it called, seats. And so they get seated basically kind of cross from each other. So Yamada's in front. She got the pervert kun, pervert guy next to her, and he's got Hara, who's nice and sweet, and then Kyotaro. And so Kyotaro struggling, can't see, but doesn't want to tell Yamada hey, you big bitch, I can't see. Yep. Doesn't want to say that.
Hey, you're too thick. Move.
Hara notices that and is oh, you can't see the board? I'll talk to Sensei later, but let's share notes. And before that, basically,
Yamada was sharing notes with
it was we're trying to share a book, and Pervert Chan was I call him Pervert Chan. That's not his actual name per se, but show. Of course, it's got to be a show.
Or I can also call him Adachi.
No, call him Show. Show's better.
Yeah.
Useless. Anyway, Show was oh, I happen to have left my book, and Yamada's oh, well, let's share my book, and fucking Kyotaro's cock blocking, no, you have your book right here, motherfucker.
It's underneath the desk, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, and so then when Hara basically shares notes, fucking what's her
Yamada's oh, it's okay for you.
Yeah, that's basically what she said. And
she's
oh fuck. So then things get awkward. But then basically he tries to tell Yamada hey, he's I can't see anything but you when I'm looking at the board.
I was smooth.
But he tells Yamada, when I'm in class all I see is you. and her
I love
eyes
that.
light up, and the clouds move away, the sun shines on her in this beautiful basking light as her eyes light up at her potential crush, saying, "All I see is you." And it's a beautiful
But
moment. But Hara
it got
basically,
ruined.
yeah,
Yeah,
Hara basically like,
Yamada. Next scene, Yamada's like, "Oh yeah, so that's what you meant." Because Hara told me. Why didn't you say so?
no. It was after the fact. No, because Hara's like, all right, I spoke to Sensei. So then fucking basically Ichikawa is in front with Sho, and Sho's like, why? Why did this happen? And Hara and fucking and Yamada are together, and they're cool. So then after the fact, like you alluded to, basically they're talking in the library, and they are saying like, oh, so that's what you meant. Like you couldn't see the board.
But it's like, no, like he totally meant the other thing.
So then the other piece of that conversation in the library earlier in the episode, as Matt alluded to, she's on TV. A rumor goes around the school, which turns out true. Yamada gets cast in a movie, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna be in a movie! You're gonna be with this co-star, like this most amazing co-star." And Yamada, everybody's excited except Yamada. Yamada has like this like very serious, like kind of like downtrodden look.
Yeah.
And then Kyotaro's like, I wonder what's going on with Yamada. Like, why isn't she happy? So when they're in the library, she's like, oh, so I heard you were going to be in a movie. And he starts asking about her role in the movie, which none of the other kids were like asking.
There was this. They were basically shipping her with another actor. That was it.
Yeah, and so she asked, "What's your role?" And she's like, "Oh, I only have one line," but she's like, "Oh, you're a creep," and like it hurts. It hurts. Kyotaro's like, "Oh,
no," she's like, "That's my line." Like, oh, okay.
Oh, but meanwhile, there's other like people looking around, like, "Oh, you're a creep. You're a creep. You're a creep." She's repeating the line. And other people in the library are like, "Oh, like this fucking creep. Like, what the fuck?" Yeah. And then what's it called? Kyotaro's like, "Let's go somewhere else and practice this line." They end up in a closet by themselves. Yamada is sitting on a desk, and she's got her legs open, and Kyotaro is in the center of them, and Kyotaro is struggling. Oh, we skipped a part completely.
Which one?
We skipped the opening of the show. Actually, starts off with them doing like the school marathon.
All right, they said they had the
school
marathon,
and it starts off really lovely. They start off the school marathon. Kyotaro's dying because he's not athletic, and Yamada catches up to him. Like she runs at her own pace, but she runs to catch up with him. Kyotaro like sees her bouncing titties and is like, "Nope, can't do this." Starts running faster. Yamada's like, "Why are you running faster?" Starts running faster. They catch up. They end up walking at their own pace. And then Kyotaro sees her bouncing boobs again, starts getting a boner, slows down, but she like stays with him. And at the end, they finish last, basically, or second to last, something like that. And they're on the ground, or sorry, Ichikawa throws her like Ichikawa throws his jacket on the floor, and Yamada's right next to it, so that she picks up both jackets, and Yamada grabs his hand to like lift herself up. And the whole rest of the day, she's wearing Ichikawa's jacket. Gyotaro. Meanwhile, everyone's saying like, "Oh, I wish I could have my boyfriend's jacket." I think that's like such a nice like resemblance of love. Like, hey, I'm wearing my boyfriend's jacket, and he notices it and starts freaking out. Like, I don't want anybody to think anything. So he goes and he volunteers himself to like go on the board to answer a question, so he can like warn her, like, "Yo, jacket, it's my jacket, dude. No." And basically gets the question wrong, and everybody laughs. But Yamada doesn't really make anything of it. So then during lunch, Yamada's like, Ichikawa, come over here. Kyotaro, come. They go to the nurse's station and they change jackets. And she's like, I wonder how this happened. And they're like, oh, it must have been when we were outside. And Yamada, creepily herself, sniffs his jacket and smiles, smelling his scent. And then they have a cute moment with like trying to measure each other.
Doritos and Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Oh, it's gross. And so they have this cute moment where they measure each other and stuff like that. And what's it called? She gets embarrassed because she accidentally steps on the scale and is like worried about Ichikawa. By the way, she's tall as shit. She's almost 6 foot in middle school.
Yeah.
She's 172 centimeters. By comparison, I'm 5'6" and I'm 167 point something. So she's 5'6", 5 more inches or so. She's 5'11". She's almost 6 feet at like 13.
So me and her are around the same height.
Yeah, basically. So, anyway, so we fast forward to the scene that I was beginning to build to.
Yep.
Again, they're in the closet by themselves. And she's like basically like not spread eagle, but she's got her legs open. Ichikawa's in the center. Ichikawa is very nervous, doesn't know where to look. Yamada herself is kind of like, she's got a little bit of tension. She's alone with a boy, and she asks Ichikawa like, "Hey, are you gonna see my movie?" And Ichikawa's like, "I'll see." And she's like, "What does that even mean?" And she's like, "I'll see about watching your movie." And she's like, "When is it coming out?" They're like, 2 years from now. And they're like, "Oh shit, we'll be graduated by then." But he's like, "I'll see about the movie." And she's like, "Yay, I'm so excited." And then she opens the door and she leaves. She's like, "Wait, aren't you gonna practice the line?" She goes, "I can't practice the line anymore after that." And that's where the episode ends.
Very cute. It went up so a bit.
This is the big question now. What ship are you shipping the most out of all the ships?
Of everything we're seeing?
Yeah, you can include Skip and Loafer too.
I was saying it's probably Loafer, Dangers, and
as the top ship
for right now. Like I'm not in order. Like these are like my top 3 right now. The one Skip and Loafer, this, Insomniacs, and hold on, I got that.
You said it's not in order, or this is your order?
It's not in order.
Okay.
I don't have a specific order right now.
Okay.
Let me look at the couples.
While you do that,
I'm not seeing Liliana. I don't have Yamada-kun.
Yeah, I don't have Yamada either. I don't have Skip and Loafer.
Yeah, those are the 3 right now. Ichikawa, Yamada, Sosuke Mitsumi, and Gata Isaki.
What about Kubo and what's his face?
Oh yeah, that's next. They're behind. They're a little behind.
They've got some catching up to do. I 100% agree.
3
You're not
months
watching
later.
Galaxy Next Door either. For me,
I can't do Gundam.
No, you can't do Gundam. That's kind of broken at this stage.
Yeah,
for me,
broken.
I'm gonna give you an order so far. This is to be determined.
Okay.
Ganta and Isaki.
Yep.
Ichikawa and Yamada.
Okay.
What was the other one I was gonna say? Son of a bitch, I lost it.
Liliana.
Yeah, Rayliana and Noah, and then
I can't do Aqua and Kana.
No, you can't do that.
Not yet. No.
And then Shiori and Ichiro from Galaxy Next Door. Those are my 4.
But those are my 3 for right now.
So for me, honestly, it's really gonna boil down to, truthfully, is gonna be between Ganta and Isaki and Ichikawa and Yamada for me. Those two couples are like what it's gonna boil down to couple the season. Although whether they'll be best boy and best girl, well, we already know who best boy is. We'll talk about him in the main event.
But... Oh yeah, no. I think he's almost a lock if he keeps it up.
Oh my god, dude.
But we'll get to him in a bit. But 3 months later.
Yes.
Kubo, Won't Let Me Be Invisible is back.
Yes.
And I'm happy. It was fucking sweet. But
it was. I'm really happy too.
Real quick, new semester in the school, so classrooms are gonna change. Kubo, it's raining outside, so Kubo is gonna fuck with Shirashi.
Of course.
With an experiment, a social experiment.
All right.
Basically,
stand under the umbrella. Who sees you?
Yep, basically. And then he's like, nope, I ain't doing this. Like, okay, so
here's my umbrella. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. And she starts running out, like trying to get dried up, and he catches up. Like, stop. Like, yeah, I ain't letting you do this.
And she's like, let the social experiment begin.
Yep,
like, you son of a bitch, you got me.
Yep. So they're walking side by side. They're looking around.
Yep.
He's getting nervous. He sees the fork of the road. The one way is all the people. Junta just goes, hey, can we go this way? Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, all right. Yeah. It's all good. It's like a nice little stroll. It's like if they were a couple.
Yeah. Nobody sees them. And then as they're waiting for a stop sign, you're like, hey, we've been completely alone this whole time. Did you want this to happen? And he goes, not particularly.
Yeah. And then they go through and she's like,
but somebody does see them.
Yep. The sister, Akira.
Yes. Oh.
Yep.
And she goes, oh, what it's like to be young.
Yeah. And then Junta, he goes home. The mother sees the shoulder wet. Like, well, what happened? Like, oh, don't worry about it, type of thing.
Nothing. Walks up the stairs like, okay.
Yep. And we get to the next day. Junta's out. He's out running errands.
He's just chilling outside.
Yep. And he sees the cousin,
Saki.
Kubo's. Yep, Saki.
Yep.
Adorable little thing. Yep. She's doing a one trip with the groceries, like carrying all these heavy bags,
and her wrists are all burnt and fucked up.
Yep. Junta goes to help her out. He's like, hey, like, you need help anything? Like, you need hand?
He's like,
no,
no,
I need to impress Nagisa.
I want to be praised. Yep.
Yep, I need her to, like, but I don't think, like, yeah, she'll praise you, but I don't think she want to see you get hurt.
Yeah.
He's like,
meanwhile, she's late. She's late because she's carrying the groceries
and talking to him, and then
Kubo
basically
goes out to find him.
Yep. Before that though, Nagisa, she's like freaking out, talking to her sister.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where is he? But Junta sent the text saying, hey, do you have Sake and Mirin?
No, she doesn't realize that. She's like, it's a random
question.
But
he sent the text though.
Yeah, he sent the text, but she's like, that's a random question. Yeah, I do. Okay, they're good. Okay, no problem. So she's like, oh, I'm worried. She goes out to find them. She sees them together. And before
that, Saki is talking to him.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's your relationship with my cousin?
She's like, are you guys just friends? I wouldn't say we're friends. Oh, is it your boyfriend? No, we're not together.
He's like, we're just classmates.
Okay. And then so Kubo shows up, and one of the questions she was asked, they're like, oh, I call her Nagisa. Like, I call her Nagi-chan. Do you know her name? And she goes, yeah, of course I know her first name. So then as Kubo shows up, Saki's like, oh, I was just asking him if I was just asking Shirishi-kun if he knows like your first name. And Kubo's like, oh, what is my first name? And he very embarrassingly says Nagisa. And she's like, what? I can't hear you. Nagisa. And then Kubo goes over to Saki and was like, his first name is Junta-kun. And then so they're like, all right, thanks. We'll talk later. Okay. And they walk away. And then Saki remarks, she was like, oh, for someone who said that they're just classmates. And she sees Nagisa just blushing because obviously she said his first name, or he said her first name. She's like, oh, Shirashi Usotsuki, which means she's a liar.
Yep.
Which was cute. That was really fucking cute.
Yeah. And the final half is a sleepover. So it's Nagisa, Hazuki, and Tamo.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Tonga?
What?
You said Tama. Tonga?
It's no. Tamo.
No,
Tamo.
It's Tama. Tama. It is Tama.
Okay, it's Tama. Okay.
It's Tama. Yeah, that's why I said
But
Tama.
basically, hey, it's our last weekend together for a class because when we go back, semester start.
Yep.
And Tama is. What did Tama do?
She was upset. She's like, I don't want to leave you guys, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I want to be with all my friends. And then Nagisa, thinking about what's it called, Junta, about Shirishi, was like, yeah, I want everybody to be together too. And they're like, oh, does that include Shirishi-kun? You talk about him so much. And she's like, not particularly. It doesn't matter if we're in class. And they're like, okay. And they wanted to grill her more, but she's like, I want to go to bed.
Hold on.
No, you're not going to bed.
Hold on. We actually skipped the part before this.
Nani?
There's class, and Junta was so bored he was taking apart his pen.
I thought it was a little inconsequential, but
I know, but
the end is kind of cute. They have the matching pens now.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I still got to mention it real quick.
All right.
But yeah, he takes apart the pen. He drops the spring of that pen
like an idiot. Baka.
Yep, and Nagi says so what happened to your pen? It's broken. All right,
why'd you take it apart? I was just curious how it worked. Okay. Yeah. And she's looking at me with judgment.
Yep. It's all right, fine. Here's mine. Just throw it out when you're done. It's out of red ink anyway. I got my own right here.
Yeah.
And once that's over, it's oh yeah, they sell cartridges for that.
And she's like, well, why did you buy a new one? She's like, I didn't know that till after the fact.
Yep. As and now we have a matching pair.
It's cute.
It's now we get to basically now Kubo's being teased about Junta now.
Yeah, and then basically Tama goes to sleep early. She's like, oh, we're gonna stay up and grill you, and she's the first one to pass out on her bed. And the original plan was supposed to be 2 in the bed, 1 in the futon. So instead of
she took the whole bed, like an ungrateful host.
Yeah, so it ends up being 2 in the futon. And then one of the things basically during the sleepover was Tama only failed 1 class, so she only has to do remediation for 1 class. And Nagisa praises her, and the other girl's like, why are you praising her? Like, oh, I used to fail all of them, now I'm only failing 1. Soon I'll be able to not fail any. And she's like, oh, you did a good job. So Nagisa's like, I finished 3rd in the class. And the other girl's
did you want to be praised too? Like, yeah.
And she's like, yeah. And she's like, good job. and she pets her head, and they both go to sleep. And then
And
Tama wakes up in the middle of the night, and they're
and
like,
just
"Oh,
goes next to them.
yeah," and it cuddles next to her. That was cute.
Yeah, very cute. Good to be back, Kubo.
Good episode, yes, indeed.
All right, 3 more. Demon Slayer.
I thought we were gonna do Stone.
No,
Oh no, Stone Coleman. We can Stone
Yeah.
Coleman it. That's important.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes,
fine.
Stone is coming. Yeah,
Demon Slayer.
yeah,
Yes.
Demon Slayer. Only the flashback was good. So
No, not necessarily. So basically, the episode starts off with Tanjiro realizing like, oh, there's like, why aren't they dissolving? They're like, there's a fifth head.
yeah,
There's a fifth head somewhere. So he sniffs it out. He uses his like sniffing powers, and he's like, oh, it's in the bushes. It's hiding really low.
yeah. It's that ugly, deformed,
Yeah.
insecure one. That's the.
But before
one.
that, we see that Genya isn't really in demon form, even though he looks like he's in demon form. We also find out later in the episode he can't do any breathing techniques. That's why he's got the gun.
Yeah,
That's why he's got the gun and the short blade. But regardless, he basically he gets pissed off at Tanjiro, like, you didn't defeat that upper six by yourself. You had help. I'm gonna defeat this upper six by myself and be a Hashira. And he's like, okay, you are. No problem.
Yep. He's like, I'm gonna be one before you. That's fine. We'll support you.
Yeah, that's when I will support you the whole way. Do it, kid.
He's like, what? He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so he's like, all right, he lets go of him, and they're like, all right, and then he realized, like, oh, there's a fifth head. Like, I'm gonna go after the fifth head. Go support me. So he's like, fuck, you're always doing this. But then he ends up getting pinned down. Tanjiro gets pinned down. So he sends Genya, go. It's in the bushes to your left, northeast. Go.
You will see it. Yep.
Yeah, and he's like, he loses track of it, and Tanjiro's fighting, Nezuko's fighting. They're like, no, like, go a little west, now go a little south. It's straight ahead. Look below you, and you see the fifth demon, and it's the size of a field rat. Very, very, very tiny. And you see basically Genya go after it. He tries to stab it, he misses, and then he goes for it again, and his blade breaks on its fucking neck. Yep. And keep in mind, like I said, it's like this small. People who can't see me, it's very tiny, and the blade breaks on his neck. So he's like, fuck. So he shoots it in the back, bang, full blast. And you think like, oh, it's a small little thing, full blast, Nichirin fucking bullets, like it's gonna get you blown to shit, right? Nope, nothing. Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck? And then by then, all of the as we have since Tanjiro is fighting all of the four emotions again. One of the emotions catches up and is about to fucking stab its fucking neck. He's about to stab Genya's neck. Genya's light flashes before his eyes.
Yeah, he was like getting scared, like he's gonna die.
Yeah.
Basically, father was an alcoholic, family of 9,
and ended up getting stabbed. No, it's not.
Yeah, he got
family of 7 or 6.
I'm reading his bio. It says 9.
Well, there's 5. There was 5 siblings that ended up. We'll talk about them in a second, and then 2. So it was 7, and then the wife is 8. So it's not a family of 9. It's a family of 7 by definition. I don't know where the other 2 come from, but in any case, yeah, father's alcoholic. He ends up getting stabbed in a bar fight and dies. So
now it's Genya and Sadami.
Yeah, his brother, and then 5 other brothers and sisters, and the mother. He talks a lot about his mother being a nice woman who would defend them from their beatings from the alcoholic father. She was a tiny woman.
Yep.
And so the flashback goes, one day she goes out, and she's
late working like she's working late. She hasn't came home.
Yeah, very.
And Sadami's like, I'm gonna go look for her.
You just said sodomy.
What?
You just said sodomy.
Sanemi.
It sounded like you said sodomy. I kid you
not.
No,
Sanemi.
Saname. Just say Saname.
Well, they say Sanemi. That's why.
Sounds like you're saying sodomy, but okay.
Sure. But yeah, he goes out. He's like, and he tells Genya, watch over the kids.
Yep.
As we said, because they promised each other they would take care of the family.
Yep.
So that happens. They hear a couple hours pass. Genya's taking care of the kids, like helping them sleep.
Yep.
They see someone by the door. Say, "Oh, it's Mama."
Okasa. Okasa.
Genya's like, "No, don't."
The door busts open. Glass flies everywhere. Stabs all the children coincidentally in the neck. They all bleed out and die.
Yep, and especially the one that Genya was holding on to.
Yep. And Genya's freaking out, and then Saname comes over and tackles the demon and says, "Run away, run away." Yep. And so he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna go run to the doctor." So he tries to run to the doctor, and as he's running to the doctor, the sun rises. He goes over a cliff, and he sees his bloody brother standing over the body of his mother. Comes to find out the demon that he was fighting was his mother.
Yeah, so Genya was like yelling at his brother, like, I hate you, you're a murderer, why would you do that? Without understanding what happened. And now
so later after the fact he realized.
Yeah, so now he's like I never got a chance to tell him I was sorry for saying that.
Yeah, here I am, my brother that protected me, and I forsake them, and I'm not gonna be able to apologize for those.
Yeah, he's like crying. He's like crying his eyes out for that. But
and we also learned that he's basically a demon slayer himself, and
he's the Wind Hashira.
Huh?
He's the Wind Hashira.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, my slowpoke brother. Why are you my brother?" So he's pissed off again.
I think this just hurts.
Yeah, it just hurts. Yeah, but he's like, your brother's mid. He's like, "Oh, how could you be like, just quit, just go away?" And he's like, I
feel like that's a way to protect him too.
Yeah,
he's one to get killed.
You know, it would have made more sense. I know they wanted to put the love Hashira in there, but it would have made more sense for him to be in this. Don't you think?
Oh, he gets one next.
He's next.
He's next.
Is he with Genya?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's for the last arc. Yeah.
That's the last arc.
Yeah.
And they're taking on what, the two? Upper two? Upper three? Wow, they face the upper one. Ooh.
Yeah, it's 5-on-1. I'll just leave it at that.
Ooh.
And you're gonna see the monk. He's the strongest one of everybody.
The monk.
The one that cries while praying.
Oh, for the upper four.
No, from the Hashiras.
The monk is the upper. No, he's
the stone Hashira.
Oh,
yeah, the one that like prays like I pity his birth, stuff like that while crying.
Oh, he's the strongest Hashira.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Hold on, it's 5 Hashiras against them. You said 5, so it'd be Genya, the stone Hashira, and then Tanjiro.
I ain't telling you who else gets involved.
Oh.
It's not Tanjiro. It's not Tanjiro though.
Tanjiro's not in that fight?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, you know, with the family connections, you think they would? No.
Really?
No.
Yeah, because he's got the Tanafuda earrings.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like when I read that, I was like, I really thought, but nope, they did not go.
Really?
With him. Yep.
So is this the arc where Zenitsu like really like shines?
Where who?
Is this the one where Zenitsu like really like breaks?
Oh yeah, yes.
This is the arc.
The one coming up.
Ooh.
Everyone is fighting. They fight someone. There's different teams. I will leave it at that.
But Tanjiro's not in it.
He's not. I guess number 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's okay. He gets to kill fucking Muzan, so it doesn't matter.
Nope.
What? I want to know more, but don't spoil me, you son of a bitch.
I know. You asked.
Oh, it's getting good.
But
let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let me talk to you. All right, Tanjiro. He saves Genya from being killed.
Yes. Oh, we're still on this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like real quick. It's like 2 minutes up to this one. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, Tanjiro saves him. He's like, "Are you all right?" Type of thing. Genya says, "Fine, just this once. I'll let you kill him."
Yep.
Then he goes to the guy / credits.
You know, I think something's gonna happen because you notice like he pulls out Hinokami Kagura, and the flames are out, the pink flames, because he's still got Nezuko's blood demon art, and the flames like go right as the credits hit, the flames stop, and that's not because the credits hit. That's because I think something happens.
Right.
And you know the manga, so you already know something does happen.
Yes.
Yes. So very curious to see what.
Yeah, I told you too much as it is. So.
About what?
After I already told you, forget it happens.
About the next arc. Well, I mean that's inconsequential because you know,
you'll be
obviously you know it doesn't take a fucking genius to know. Like, all right, well they beat 5 and 4, they beat 6, then 5 and 4. The next one is 3. I don't know where 2 falls in. and then you have one. Tanjiro doesn't fight one.
Yeah. He fights one of them.
And then you just ruin that. You didn't say you ruined because I asked, but
Yeah.
you know the fact that he doesn't kill Muzan or he's not.
Well, you gotta see how it happens.
I know that's kind of like
Yeah.
that's kind of a mind fuck because this entire time I'm thinking he's gonna be the one to kill Muzan.
Well, you can't kill him by cutting his head off.
Obviously, because you can't do it like everything else.
No, but like in general, like you can only die one way, and that's it.
What for Muzan?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. I'm not gonna delve further into that.
Yeah, no.
They've already established. They've already established like there's other ways to kill like and suppress these beings. Obviously, the harder they get.
Yeah, his is the only one way, nothing else. Decapitation will not work.
But you know, I thought of something that was very interesting, and they said that when they did the flashback of who supposedly is now the number one, I got to think that the guy in question is the number one. They said like, oh, like he's the only one that came close to beheading Muzan. So
it wasn't the Upper Moon one.
Really?
No, they are related though.
Because the guy's the only one who's come close to beheading Muzan. So I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like well, beheading. You would think like, oh, beheading. That's it.
Nah, but there's a trick for his.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, but let's move on. Co-main, Dr. Stone.
Solid episode.
But before we continue, you weren't here for this. I did not like the Soyuz reveal.
Why?
It just felt like so random. Like, I had no name. I had him on the board as the guest list. He's here. Oh, what a coincidence. He's the stowaway from when they had that village. It just felt so...
You thought it felt forced?
Forced and very convenient when it's like, sure, that makes sense. Coincidentally, all this happened. It was all somehow implied when it really wasn't.
I find that to be very minute.
I feel like he should have had a little bit more of a build-up instead of just a random, by the way, I'm here.
Yeah, they could have given him a little bit more, but I find that very minute picking. Honestly, that's kind of nitpicking. I get your point. I never thought of it that way.
Just the fact that was the focus of last week's episode. Like you couldn't introduce him a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was found offshore, drift to the shore. He's the one that tells them where the thing is, but tells them about the village.
Yeah.
So I've been here this whole time, but I forgot everything. And oh, now I remember. It's all coming to me.
I mean, you've read the manga?
Yes.
He's not a double.
That's why I'm complaining.
He's not a double agent.
No.
Okay, that was my thought process.
Yeah. I hated when he did. I hated when he did that. I hate it, and I hate it now.
Does he have like a significant presence, like to how these things turn out?
For this arc, yeah.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
You sound so disappointed.
As the series progresses, you get a lot of sure, why not moments in there.
Sure.
And then like that, yeah. And then it's the ending. Like it's fine, but weird at the same time. Like it's gonna be a while, but let's I digress. Let's move on. They're at the island. Land ho.
Land ho.
Yeah.
But before they get to the island, what's his name? Sonar guy. Uyo, right?
Hawkeye. Ukyo, yeah.
Ukyo notices something on the radar, and he's like, "Well, what the fuck is going on?" So he asks, "Hey, is anybody free? Can you?" Oh, wait. Before that, though, before we get to that, we see Suika manage to be a stowaway.
Because like we need someone to do scout. Like, I'm here. Ryu says like, no. Who invited you? I did not invite you.
Yep, you guys stay on the
right
ship until we get to Japan.
Yep, like you are grounded. You stay right there.
And I appreciated Francois. Francois was like, he's only doing that because he actually cares about your life and he cares that you exist.
Yeah, and the Ryu's like, shut up, Francois.
All right, but no. Right, so then they're like, Yukio's like, hey, can someone go to the bottom of the seafloor? Tell me what you see. And so,
but before that, like while that's going on,
the Gimro.
I was saying that before, like while that's going on, they have a team out. So Gen, Senku, Kohaku, and who else? Was it Chrome? No, not Chrome. Gen, Kohaku, Senku,
and Soyuz.
Was it him?
Yeah, Soyuz.
Soyuz, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was because he's from that island, so it's also those four that go out, they're gonna look for the chest, basically.
Yep.
Everyone else stay here, like guard the ship, or then Kinro.
Yep.
He goes to the bottom, sees a bunch of
Of
statues.
stones. He reports back and he's like, wait, they're underwater. That doesn't make sense because when they first landed, when the Soyuz
it was deserted.
Yeah. And then at that moment when he's realizing this,
Ryu says like we're being watched.
We're being watched, and then something happens, and then Gen is like, "Oh, we can't reach anybody on the radar. What the fuck? Like, why is that? Like, why is that like a thing?" And then all of a sudden, Soyuz looks out the telescope, the binocular, the eye binocular, and starts freaking the fuck out. Yeah, and then Gen looks at it. He's like, "Holy shit!" So by this time, Kohaku and Senku's dying, by the way, because he's not a fucking athlete at all. So he's dying trying to follow.
So he doesn't know what's going on yet.
So then they catch up to them. They're like, "Dude!" They bring them back. Everybody's been turned to stone,
except for Suika.
Because
Ryusei kicked her off to save her.
Yep.
So
Crazy.
So she's on her own. Everyone like Chrome, Ryusei, Francois, Taiju, everyone.
Stone.
Yep. They don't show you who.
That's a big reveal that the petrification came from. Is there.
Yep, so all that's going on. Senku is pissed.
Yes.
Like you just see his angry face finally.
Yes.
But they gotta keep going, basically.
Yep.
And during this, they see a girl. Amaryllis.
Yes. She's beautiful.
Yes.
I'm surprised they didn't make her black since they gave her dreads.
Oh my god, stop it.
I'm being serious. I'm like,
I know.
They gave her dreads, so I'm like, oh, they're our first.
Was it because of the lips too while we're at it?
No, it was not because of the lips. That's racist. That's racist. Not what I said earlier. That's racist. No, but like, they don't have a black character. I mean, granted, they're in like.
Well, they're in Japan. Yeah, they are in Japan.
So there could be somebody of color.
I know, but
although they didn't have anybody of color on it would have made more sense if they put somebody with color on the spaceship, right?
Did they though? I don't remember. I don't remember the crew. It was all Japanese, right?
No,
and one American singer.
It was mostly Japanese and an American.
Yeah, I think that was the singer.
Yeah, none of them were black.
But yeah, Amaryllis. She was carrying.
They couldn't give her a tan. They couldn't give none of these people tans by definition. They're on a fucking island.
They're on the island. They're in the sun. Yeah, something. But she's carrying stuff, and then you see like 3 people like going to her, like proposing, like we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
They no, I'm basically assigned marriage to the master. No, she's pulling a hime. It's a facade.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm just saying all this to, like, I know I can make men weak. I can leave me alone. Like, basically, she's like, she belongs to the kingdom, essentially.
Yes.
And then, like, Kahaku's like, I got a knife, so.
Right? I got a katana. I was fucking stab a bitch.
She's like nope.
Let's not do that.
Then she tries to make Gen feel better. Hey, you want to flirt with me?
No, it's after the fact.
I know, but I'm saying whatever. I just want to put that in.
All right, let's approach her very calmly. Senku's like, "Where's the treasure box, bitch?"
Yeah, and
they're like, "So blunt."
Amaryllis is like trying to seduce him. Like, nope, it's not working.
Nope, not gonna work. They're like,
"Oh, they even tell her like, don't try it."
Yep,
everyone tried basically.
And so then they're like, "Oh," they start hearing screams from the village, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?" So they go and there's a fight basically because everybody's pissed that Amaryllis is going to go to the master, quote unquote, the master. And so Senku's like, I got the cure for this. Tear gas, bitch.
Yeah.
And he tear gases everybody. And they're like, sorcery? Magic? What the fuck? Amaryllis is like that. They're like, oh. And she reveals to them like, hey, because they overhear like, hey, like, we're all going to be turned to stone. Let's not. So they hear this. And then Amaryllis reveals like, hey, I know the secret behind the stonification, basically.
So
And
I want to do
I was hoping to infiltrate him so I could defeat him. I want your help.
Sus.
End episode. And it's crazy because you think like, wow, there's a season 3 after this.
Well, this is the season 3.
Sorry, season 4 after this.
It's as we split it into 2 parts.
Season 3.
Yeah, season 3 is 2-part.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's a yes and no. There is more. There is more.
So they should finish this off with a movie.
No, like there's a lot of chapters, a lot more chapters.
Really?
Yeah, you got 2 more arcs basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy balls, Batman.
Yeah. The next arc's really good. Last one is the one that's okay.
And that's the main one that fucking counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this some corny shit like you thought it was me, but it was me?
Yeah, I spoiled too much shit today.
No, I asked.
No.
I asked.
No, I know. I'll have to send it there. Let's go to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Oshi no Ko.
This was a very dark episode that really left me quite bothered.
Yeah. Also, guys, this was basically in the anniversary of Hana's passing.
For those who don't know what we're talking about,
yeah, Hana Kimura was a wrestler in Japan. She worked for Stardom. She was on a reality TV show that was on Netflix. She had a little altercation with one of the actors in said show because he fucked up her ring gear, and she got mad at it. And Japan fan base,
very
on
toxic.
Twitter, is very brutal.
Toxic.
Like,
raw.
You are done no matter what you do. The best defense is saying nothing. But if you do literally anything, they will attack you. It's fuel. Sorry, nope. Like, you're leaving, nope. Nothing. And it got to the point where Hana doing self-harm.
And she eventually overdosed and she passed away.
Yeah.
At the age of 23, if I recall correctly.
23, 24, yeah.
Yeah, she was 23 years old. This happened in 2021. It was it made major headlines in both the pro wrestling world and just in terms of like the Japanese Japanese Twitter. But they found the person that they found a couple people, but they found one person in particular that basically told her like, you should die, just kill yourself. And they actually received some sort of punishment. But in retrospect, a few months in jail,
more or less, they got a slap on the wrist, more or less.
Yeah, a few months in jail and a fine doesn't equivalent the life of a person. And
so it's as though now Hana's mom is suing the show, and the network.
I feel like we should do one of those traditional PSAs though, but it's actually kind of like really serious as much as I kind of play that off as a joke. But in all seriousness, like if you're listening 3 hours in, if anybody here needs any sort of like help, needs somebody to talk to, needs an ear to vent to, cry to, lean on, there are options, whether they're your friends, whether there's professional help, whatever you need to not make that choice that Hannah did.
Yeah,
please, by all means, seek them out. Patty Pimblett from the UFC he had a great quote because his friend committed suicide and then he fought that weekend. And he said, "Listen, I'd rather have my mate cry on my shoulder than have to go to his funeral." And
there was another one like, "I'd rather read your problems than read your eulogy."
That's also very true. And so, in all seriousness, guys, for anybody who needs help, there is help out there. As alone as you may feel, you will never be alone. As much as you feel no one loves you, there is someone out there that loves and values and appreciates you.
Yes.
You are never truly by yourself. And no matter how dire the situation, killing yourself is never the solution, because in the grand scheme of things, it only makes everyone else's life around you worse.
Yeah, you're hurting your friends, family, loved ones, and you're letting the people that drove you there win.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, everybody, no matter how much, well, I shouldn't say everybody, but in this instance, everybody everyone has value, no matter whether you see it at this stage or not. you have value, you have meaning, you deserve the life that you can live as much as possible, because life is very fleeting, and trying to get out of that through suicide is not the answer. So please reach out to somebody, anybody, because at the end of the day, like Matt and I said, they'd be happy to hear you out versus be crying over the fact that you didn't reach out. So
Yeah. Again,
that's an important message to say.
There's BetterHelp, National Suicide Hotline. Literally, there's anything. If you look up, just Google it once, you'll get a lot of stuff. And trust me, like, people do care.
100%.
But yeah, we are doing a trigger warning that suicidal themes is in this episode.
Very heavily. Very, very heavily.
Yeah.
I was, like I said, dude, I was like, at the end, I was really like, I had so much anime to binge, I couldn't afford to stop. But if I could afford to stop, I probably would have like afforded to stop, and I would have done something else, like watch something else. Honestly,
yeah, I was just like, I
watched Insomniacs after this, which helped. But I'm glad I didn't save this for last. And like I said, I went Oshi Ko, and then I went I went My Home Hero. So I went from like super depressing to really tense. Like my heart was just like fucked for like an hour, dude. I was just like, dude. And I wrote, like I said, I wrote this in particular because I was telling Karen about this, and I'm gonna see if I can't scroll up. If you watch the episode, it's very important to realize what you were getting into, because the opening preview, like when you read like the opening captions, remember what you said in a righteous outrage online. There were consequences. You never saw them, but that didn't make them any less real. Nor hold you any less accountable. ... And so, yeah, dude, it really, it really rings home in terms of just the principle of, at the end of the day, like, everybody talks shit. It's fun to talk shit, but there's lines to that. And there's certain lines that you really shouldn't cross. You shouldn't really attempt to try and fucking, go past. And in reality, everybody is human, no matter whether you're talking to a celebrity, an everyday person. Everybody is human. They bleed the same. They feel the same. They hurt the same. They love the same. It should be a matter of human compassion. And it's really quite distressing and really disheartening to have this reality, especially through this episode, that's not the case. And so
people aren't acting this way, raised this way
consistently, often.
It's sickening.
And just because at the end of the day, it's, another final point, just because someone else doesn't feel the love that they need to feel to make them spit out that vitriol, it doesn't mean that there aren't people that aren't going to give you the love that you deserve, because everybody deserves some sort of love from somebody, whether that be in a romantic way, whether that be in a friend way, family, however that case is. There is love out there for everybody, and everybody deserves love and compassion and care. And that's definitely one of the main themes that we want to continue to stress through our talk of this episode. But let's get through the episode, Matt, because I'm getting sad talking about this.
Let's get for this pretty quick. Basically, it's still continuing with the dating show that Aqua's in. So Akane, Mem, the other characters aren't that important in this.
It's not inconsequential because the main ones are basically involve. I believe it's
Yuki, because basically it was talking about how she wanted to quit the show, but it was the character on camera.
Yeah.
And how one of the boys, I believe Kengo, was like,
the main boy. Yeah.
Nobu, sorry. Yeah,
Nobu.
Yeah, they're talking about, like, if you quit, I'll quit too. Basically, it's not real, but it's more, their feelings are out there because
she said it. She's like, I'm just playing up the character, but I genuinely wanted to leave the show. I was genuinely being teased about it, but I have contractual obligations. I can't just leave.
So if I acted out how I feel, it can make good television.
Yeah.
And now because of this, you got two that are a couple in this reality dating show.
Yeah.
While Mem, I love her. She's basically like, I'm just here for clout. I'm chilling.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just hanging out with people.
100%. Yeah.
Aqua is just, Aqua's he's just there.
I'm here for my purpose.
He has a favor. Basically, he's getting help, and now he's doing in return. Yep. And then basically they'll go out dinner party because they were done filming. Great job, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Akane doesn't touch the meat because she's a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby gets jealous again
of
Aqua's. And she wants to do a tweet of a drink she doesn't like. And then fucking Akane has to slap it out of her. Like, slap her. Like, no, don't do that. Because what if you get something and they're a sponsor, someone knows that works says, hey, you talk shit about our stuff. That means no money. No one wants you. You'll get blacklisted. You'll get blacklisted a lot quicker. So basically what you got to do is keep your mouth shut. And she's like, are you really an attention whore for yourself? And then she just grabs her phone. Ruby Hoshino. Is Ruby cute? It's like, oh my god, it's your ego searching. And that's the last thing.
Ego surfing.
Sorry, ego surfing. Yes, surfing. And that's something nearly everyone does after a show, especially when you're starting out. You want to know.
Yeah.
You want those first impressions. You want to know.
Yeah, you want the praise.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially adulation and praise. Yeah.
That's since you're starting out.
Yeah.
All right. So Aqua and Ken are done at this. They're done. Now it's just Akane. Akane, she's like, you see her like rehearsing a line, doing a little bit of fencing. She's stretching.
Yeah, and then you see her throughout the episode, like talking to people, writing down stuff that she should be doing on the show, trying to stand out.
I'll say when she's on her way to the office, she hears yelling. Yeah, say like, I trusted you with Akane.
Yeah, it's her manager and the CEO of the company. Yeah.
The producer of the company is talking to her agents. It's like, oh, like she's not doing anything. She's not standing out. She's just there.
I had girls I wanted to kill to get this chance, and nobody gave it to her, and she's doing nothing. At minimum, make sure she leaves her mark on the show.
Yep. So she hears it. She's crying.
And that's her mindset. The rest of the leave your mark, leave your mark, leave your mark, leave your mark.
And she even asked the fucking cameraman how to leave her mark.
And she's like, "Why don't you steal the boy from the girl?"
Like, I'm not saying do it, but it's something like it.
It'll help. Yeah, steal Nobu.
Yeah, but before that though, like she's reading comments, have like, yeah, she's a cute face, but
she does nothing. Yeah, so I feel indifferent. I don't hate her. I don't love her. She's just there.
But like she's just a generic girl.
Yeah.
So she does the talk to Nobu a bit, getting more known to each other.
Yeah,
and then Yuki was now it's her turn to get him back. And
no, you forget they're doing nails.
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, now it's time for her to step back in. So she offers to do nails.
Yeah,
they do that. They're talking. She's like
They do Mem's nails first, and then they do Akane's.
Yeah, and she talked to Akane. It's like, are you okay? Like,
was this recorded or was this not recorded? I feel like this wasn't recorded.
I don't know.
I don't think this was recorded. This was just this personal girl talk.
Yeah, I think it's just like them getting nails ready for the set.
Yeah, this is personal girl talk.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like, are you doing okay? Like, I know you want to stand out. Like she's trying to comfort her, make her feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and she's like, I see what you're doing. I'm not gonna let you do it. Please don't hate me. It's just business.
Yeah, and she's like, she understands, but so basically, she wants to help make it look good. Then they start shooting. Suki is talking to Nobu, and then about to try to take it away. Akane's like, wait, has her hand out, and
she has a diamond on her finger, and the diamond hits Akane and scratches her in the face.
Well, it scratches Yuki in the face.
Yeah. And so everybody starts freaking out. They cut production, want to make sure she's not bleeding. Akane feels awful. Yuki also has a photo shoot that's coming up in the next day, and she's upset. She's so sorry. She's like,
Yuki's like telling her like it's okay. It's an accident.
Photoshop. I'll fix it with Photoshop. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I know you didn't mean it, but people have phones.
No, that part. I think was that shared. I thought it was recorded, and they aired it.
I know, but I'm saying like people still could sneak in a photo.
And
that is there. Yeah,
it went viral.
It went viral. This is where all the negative.
It sends her on a downward.
Everyone is starting to hate her, and then not Akane. She just staring at the phone, curled up.
She's
And
not
she
sleeping a wink. She just like tries to go to sleep. She can't sleep it off. She's starting not to eat because
Yep,
she's so
and
stressed.
she sent an apology on the Twitter, like,
Mm-hmm.
I got it, but you don't do that because
No,
that's more.
Mem said
So
that. Mem said they're like, oh, and it was a very valuable quote.
yeah, men like there were like flashbacks of men giving her advice.
They went
of
to
what
a
not to do.
yakiniku party afterwards, and Mem
Yeah.
treated. And she's like, "Why would you apologize?" She's like, "Never apologize because it gives them the impression you did something wrong, and if you've done nothing wrong, then you shouldn't apologize for something that you didn't do." But
Yeah.
she went through the apology. That didn't work out. The manager was like, "Hey, don't tweet anymore. If you're going to tweet anything,
Like
run it by
consult
me."
me. Like yeah, it's the agent that the sweet old man's like, I will help you. Just
Yeah,
lay low. And they've said like, yeah, once the show's over, it'll die down. But
yeah.
as another episode airs, the conversation
The
comes up
vitriol
again.
continues. It just continues, and by this
Even in
point,
school,
even in school, yeah, in school, like they're gossiping about her. She's in the bathroom and she starts to feel physically ill. She throws up. And
Yeah,
her mom
and
even
now
notices, like, like you're pale, like, what's going on? Did something happen?
as she's
Did you
just saying,
throw?
I'm fine.
And she's like, no, but then eventually she says I'm fine. And then after she throws up the next day, she's still pale. And she's like, did something happen on the show? And she's like, yeah, something did. And then she just apologizes, like, I'm sorry to her mother. And then comes the really heavy scene where that night she stays up and she's still reading the comments.
And she read one was like, we're dropping her from our.
No, they said there was one that said that they should drop her, and then there was one in particular that said just die.
No, I'm saying
And,
like one of the production companies says like one of them said like we can't support her anymore.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think one of them says I think someone dropped her as like I don't know if it's like I don't know if it was her agent or the production company.
Might be the
Like,
production company, but
yeah, like basically they said like we're not doing business with her going forward.
But the comment that really drove her off the edge was just die. And
everyone kept doing that, and we get flashbacks like people with the rumors like, oh, I heard she was a slut. She doesn't work. Yeah, during this you see how hard she works for everything.
She's reading her lines. She's working out. She's doing all these things, and she's 100% focused. She's really nobody sees the amount of effort and
hard
dedication.
Work, yeah, because they think she's someone that just slept her way to the top.
Yeah, and so when she sees the "just die" comment, music, like dramatic music, stops. It pauses, and you see her walking in the rain, and she's just in her head. She's
like,
all
oh
in her
yeah,
head.
and she's like, oh yeah, I haven't eaten yet. And
She's like, I haven't eaten yet. She's like, I'm tired. And she just hears she hears like the comments from Twitter that she read just all in her head, all in her head, all in her head. And then she hears again, just die. And then she's like, I'm tired. I don't want to think anymore. And she's standing, and there's a monsoon because at this point,
it's raining,
all the people in the cast are like, hey, are you okay? You haven't been well. We're concerned about you. You should eat. And then she writes back like, I'm gonna go out and get groceries. And she's like, well, don't go out now. It's a typhoon. But she goes out. She doesn't respond to them.
Don't care. Yep.
She goes out and she makes that dedication. She's like, I don't want to think anymore. And there's dead silence. And then when it pans back out, she's standing on top of a overpass with oncoming traffic. She jumps off.
And someone catches her.
And she screams bloody murder as she's bawling, crying. Let me go.
Like, let me go. Like,
let me go.
And we see it's
the white star.
Yep.
White-eyed star Aqua says, calm down. I'm not your enemy. What is it? He said, calm down. I'm not your enemy. Please calm down.
Yeah. And that's where the episode ended.
And like I wrote Karen, I was like, bro, if there's a frame that you see, I've sent the frame to you guys, not knowing because I hadn't seen the episode yet, but they capture the frame really well. And I wrote this to Karen at the end of the day. I was like, they broke her down completely. She stayed up reading tweets, tried to apologize, barely ate, threw up, whatever. And then I was like, she didn't want to, and then she tried to jump off before being saved. And I was like, this is a panel from the manga when to save her. I sent it to her. And I said, the look of pure loss and defeat in her eyes as she failed to end her misery, mixed with shock and vulnerability that someone loves her enough to not want to see her die.
Yeah.
That's the look that they managed to capture so impeccably.
Yeah.
And to end on that note, it's a mix of like relief and just somberness. Like I said, I felt so like disheartened and like depressed at the
Oh yeah.
end, despite the fact that Aqua saved her. I was just like, wow, to just see like the demise of just a fictional character in general, just to see that like demise to lead to that moment was just so like gut-wrenchingly sad. And yeah, it leaves quite the impression on anybody that has a soul. You know, it's just that was just so that was a hard watch. I haven't felt that depressed in a long time watching a show, honestly.
No, it was like I've been there. I've seen it. I get it. That's what makes it hurtful.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And it sucks in show business. They don't protect their crew like that.
they don't. Oh,
Basically, you're on your own. They'll drop you off. They'll drop you for money.
you're just a face.
Yep.
You're
We
just
can
a
get
girl.
we can get another face.
You're just a thing. And
Yeah.
once you're not the hottest thing anymore, they move on to the next hottest thing and what's left.
Yeah, no, it's not right. It's really not.
Yeah, man.
You're their responsibility through and through.
You're a human.
Yeah.
You're a fucking human, dude. And
yeah, like if you're under contract with them, they are your responsibility. If you just wash your hands while that's going on, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful, but huge props to Aqua. He's my best boy contender.
That was boy of the week without a doubt. As much as I don't want to like Aqua, it's so hard not to. It's so hard not to love Aqua.
Despite what he went through with dying and losing his mom, there's still a human being in there.
And all he does is for the greater good. Yeah. Wicked sometimes, but it's still for the greater good. And he recognizes, you know, there's so many layers to Aqua from that standpoint. You know, the doctor in him that wants to save life, the human in him that appreciates life, you know, and just maintaining life is, I think, Aqua's main goal. You know, to set right the wrongs that he sees in front of him. And it's very poetic, you know, that he's the one to save him. I'm very curious to see how they follow this up. I haven't read the manga, so I don't know.
I haven't either, so
you got to think that they gloss over it in the all-encompassing world, but between Aqua and Akane, they now share inseparable bond to some degree because of that. You're the reason I'm alive, for better or worse, depending on how this continues to progress. You got to think for the better, obviously, but like, you know, I mean, if I can remove us from the screen for those watching.
Yeah, I'll say they don't hear us when we're taking off screen.
They don't?
Yeah, I didn't hear a word you just said.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I just gave a nice heartening fucking thing.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you that. It's like, I didn't hear.
Son of a bitch!
I didn't hear a word.
Ah, motherfucker. All right.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, I'll reiterate what I was saying. Basically, when I took myself off screen, I wanted to show the background picture because it's just the face of just broken, sullen defeat as she's about to jump. And it's an encapsulation of the worst.
No. We just hit remove. That
Sorry.
way you didn't get the picture. But we didn't know it meant.
We'll see if we can come up with a better layout next time. But
yeah.
Like I said, just, you know, that is just, it was such a hard watch, you know, and I don't feel favorably toward those who commit suicide. Quite frankly, it's just my human nature. It's hard for me to relate. I've never felt those feelings. I'm sure if I probably have, I would feel more toward that. But regardless, it's still the principle of just, you know, having general human compassion, and to see that happen is just so hurtful. And it was just it was a very tough, like I said, very tough episode to endure. And I hope I don't have to watch something like that anytime soon again, because, you know, it's not right, it's not normal, but at the same time it is needed to bring up these discussions. And that's something that Oshinoko, I'm sure we've gone over it a bunch of times, Yumi and Starman. It's something that Oshinoko shines in, is bringing the darkness to light and really setting a stage for the
People
realities
need
of
to be aware of this.
hopelessness. Yeah, it's not a cute piece. It's not a fluff piece. It's not to glorify. In some degree, it is to glorify, but it's more for people to understand the true realities of what it is. You can watch idol anime and it's all fluffy goodness. You can watch band anime and music anime and it's mostly fluffy goodness. But there's a hard reality to being in these type of environments that is very much glossed over. And Oshinoko does a sensational job of highlighting that, so you understand the gravity and the weight towards what you watch. Our entertainment comes through great sacrifice and great endurance of suffering and agony through a majority of those people, and it should be commended, you know, for all the millions and hundreds of thousands that these people make. There's a price for that. And, you know, for many people, I don't think that's a price that they could endure. And it's something that should be heralded, that people do manage to come through that, and that they deserve those blessings that they get through all that hard work and sacrifice and endurance, and, you know, everything that surrounds them in their universe. And as we had said in Insomniacs earlier in the episode, at the end of the day, everybody has their circumstances, and it doesn't give you the right to judge somebody's circumstances based off of what you see on the initial cover versus the entire book that they're living in that moment. So I think that's very poignant to point out.
Closing thoughts.
Outside of this dark, fucking damping, depressing, fucking miserable episode, spring continues to be a hitter, bro. That's all. You know, spring continues, as I wrote in the caption, spring continues to bloom, and bloom quite nicely.
Yep. All right, guys. We've been here for 3.5 hours. We're talking our cake. We're full of cake. We're about to get out of here. Follow me at DamienPhoenix12 on Twitter. Follow him at Showstopper24 on his Twitter. Follow our Twitter at Talk the Kēki. We also have a link tree for where we listen to your favorite podcast via Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon, you name it. You look it up. We're there. Just type in Talk to Kēki at your Google. We're based on the first 2 pages. We want to thank W2 Network and Chairshot Radio for hosting us on their platforms. We want to thank Sean for being an editor, for editing our shows. Also, follow them at W2 Network and at Chairshot Media. Always use your head. Give them your Instagram so we can go.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram at AI_anime24. You can follow me on my podcast Instagram at podcast.senpai. You can follow us also on our Talk the Kēki Instagram at TalkTheKeki. That's Talk the Kēki, same as Matt said for our Twitter page. As Matt alluded to, we also have plenty of links within our link trees. You can follow myself and my other personal endeavors. Shout out to my boy Andy with the MMA for Marks podcast. We've been on a 2-week hiatus due to time conflicts. We hope to get that resolved hopefully on Monday, as I'm busy on Tuesday. We'll see how that happens there, so we can give you the latest and greatest in in MMA and combat sports. There's a huge boxing card that I look forward to, and we've got several UFC and one cards that we need to go over in some capacity, so I'll coordinate with him how that's going to go. Other than that, I do want to leave with, before we say arigato, sayonara, and whatever else we normally say, love each other. We just spent 30 minutes, you know, telling you the value of life. So I just want to end this episode with a big, frank, love each other, please.
Yeah, please look after each other. Look after yourselves too. Again, don't be afraid to reach out. Reach out to us, reach out to friends, family, loved ones. There is an option. There's always an option.
There are people, do not, and I hear this a lot from certain friends of mine. I don't want to burden other people with my problems. If you don't see the value in having those friends and you think that you're a burden to them, they're probably not really friends. And you should really realize that if you have a real friend, they will be there to listen to you no matter how minute your circumstance is, because you never know how minute a circumstance you may feel may be towards someone else. And so you should always keep that in mind, and you should always approach things with an open heart, and you should always give honest and fair and caring feedback, because that is certainly the best kind of thing that you can give to a friend, other than the good times and the laughter and money and other things. Your time and love will always be the most important things you can give to people, and always remember that.
All right, we will see you guys next week. Arigato. We love you. Sayonara.
Aishiteru minasan. Sayonara.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to Talk the Kēki. Not an